The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, July 19th, 2024. This program starts now. God, it is great to be here. The ticker is moving, the graphic should work, the video should be fantastic. So the little update that kind of has put a stop on planes and banks and ESPN and other sports places should not be doing anything to the Thunderdome over here. Now, we grossly overpaid to set this entire place up, but it's days like today where we get excited to not only showcase the sports, but showcase this building that we have built in a badge of love, sweat, and honor of sport.
Hell yeah.
It is an honor to be here. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this every single day. We got some massive guests today. In the second hour, we'll have Michael Phelps joining us. Wow. Normally, we just cold call FaceTime Michael Phelps. Yes, that is a cool thing to be able to do. This time, we actually set it up because he was the #1 athlete of the 21st century, voted on by some people at ESPN. Now, we also have the Olympics right around the corner, just 1 week away. Actually, the opening ceremony kicks off. And then he has 23 gold medals. He's going to be a part of the coverage. He's back in the fold. And also, we got another teenager, Howman, that's going to be going over there trying to do what this man was able to do since the age of 19 when he won his first gold medal in Athens all the way through. Look at that chain. That is not AI. That is not fake. That is what that man accomplished in a pool while taking on the rest of the world. And we are honored to get a chance to chat with him about an hour and 9 minutes or so. I'm excited to hear what he has to say about this Olympics, because we've had videos of him being seen by everybody of the Australian swimmers talking shit. Chirping about the national anthem. Now, not Ingrid's national anthem, which once again, we're proud of her. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or Cody.
I don't know if they have TVs on in the particular rehab center that she is in, but we hope that she,
Over
come
the
on.
hump.
This is a good moment. We can find a good moment out of this entire thing. Rock bottoms are at different spots for different people. That one very public. We can't wait for her to come back. But whenever you hear like Cody Johnson sing the national anthem, or Samantha Irvin sing the national anthem, or somebody really nail it, these Aussie swimmers said it pisses them off. And Michael Phelps, who I think a lot of us would consider one of our Captain Americas, said, I'm almost thinking about getting back in the pool. We'll ask him about that. We'll ask him about everything going on around the world. We cannot wait for it. In the first hour, we got a special guest that's going to be live with us. It's not Talks the Table at Boston Connor or at Ty Schmidt. God bless the United States of America with that particular T-shirt, Con man.
Yeah. I was randomly picking them up, but this one wasn't random. I just figured, you know what, I'll throw one of these things on. I believe this bird was at that convention last night, but it was awesome.
Okay, yeah, I know. We've been learning about this. I don't know about you learning about it. I assume this is something that you look forward to every 4 years.
No, this is my first one. First one. I feel like a new football fan.
Yeah, bingo. This is me. This is my first time getting to experience this as well. It is a wild. It's on every channel.
Nuts.
It is on every channel, and obviously last night the main event won for 4 hours.
Yep.
So I don't know who. that was a long one there at the end, but what a celebration it looked like by a bunch of people who were very happy. Where obviously things could be very different. We look forward now to the other politics. You guys are keeping it spicy.
Yeah. You guys are in it.
That's right.
You guys are keeping it real spicy. The rumors, the conjecture, the lack of intelligence, seemingly, from a lot of people talking over there. Because the people on the microphones over there are the ones that judge us very hard. And the people that do this really hard. Lottie, I just want to let a lot of you know, you come into the Thunderdome, you would get just absolutely into a cyclone of why I don't know, I have to have a brain. That's what it feels like in the politics world. I don't pay attention a lot to that whole thing. Couldn't not over the last couple of days. What a scene.
Nuts.
Kid Rock comes out.
I know the star power.
Dana White, friend of the
Aldean.
program, obviously out there. Jason Aldean and his small town out there. I mean, what a wild thing. I cannot wait to see what the Democrats do now on the other side. Thank you for filling the time as we don't have any sports. That is how I was viewing it.
Yeah.
And what a show, what a talk, what a time. A lot of big things happening. The Open is still taking place over there at Royal Troon. You know, they don't call it the British Open, we found out this morning. Ty, why is that?
Yeah, because it's actually not played in, England every single time. Like this one's in Scotland, so if you call it the British Open, that's kind of like a smack in the face. So they changed it. It's just the Open Championship.
Yeah, because the UK
Correct.
is a few of these countries.
Right.
Four of them.
And then there obviously there's Europe as a whole, and then there used to be Britain and Great Britain.
Correct.
And that we don't know enough about it.
No.
But it sounds like they're pretty pissed off about the you better get the pronoun right.
Exactly.
Whenever you're talking about these particular countries. So now it's just the Open, the 152nd one. And to give us the information on it,
Yep.
not a lot of funditry. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Brown.
Hey, baby Bruce.
Bruce, who's in the lead at the 152nd Open, and what should we be looking forward to as these rounds kind of come to a conclusion on this feel-good Friday?
As Faraday called him, the fat Irishman, Shane Lowry, is still up top. I believe he is at 7 under. The main story right now, though, is Royal Troon's kicking some wholesale ass. We got 30-mile-per-hour winds in some parts.
Jeez.
That's like 60 kilometers for those Tories. I don't know how they're handling it.
Okay.
The cut line,
Yeah, it wasn't info.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
the
transition.
cut line is projected to be 6 over. So 5 over will make the cut, 5 over par.
That's crazy.
Tiger
Yeah.
making it then.
Maybe.
Tiger
What
had
is he
another.
at?
No,
13 over,
Tiger's
maybe?
13 over. He
Yeah,
didn't-
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
Eagles, though. Hole in one. Is he already done?
Yes.
Oh, so yeah, there's no chance.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought that maybe he could make a run at it here
Sure.
at the end. You know, you never know with the Royal Troon tide turning, how the wind could maybe benefit or help. +5 being the cut line is insane.
Crazy.
That means there's going to be some really high numbers over the weekend because people are going to make it Saturday and then they're just going to shit all over themselves.
Yep.
And there's a chance that we got +20s coming out of this thing on
yeah.
Sunday. Can't wait to watch golf be golf. We got people batting sideways off of hills. There's a lot of people saying this is like billiards in a farm.
Yeah.
They feel like that is what they were watching because how bad it was. This particular image, though, is seemingly a good indicator of what we're going to see this weekend. These golfers who are the most talented golfers on earth are going to have to really battle, and you're going to have to earn it. But that's why it's the oldest golf tournament on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Open is all the way open.
Let's
Yes,
go.
it is.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is not a man who is a golfer. No. This man, though, speed.
Oh,
If it has wheels, he'll race it. He's won truck series races. He's won
Right.
go-kart. I think he's won sprint car.
Right.
I don't know if he's done any drag stripping racing. I don't know if he's done any of that type of stuff. But he is in NASCAR. He's on Saturdays. He's in the Xfinity Series. He's in the Verizon Series.
Right.
He's been around a long, long, long time. And I've always said, especially after getting a chance to hang out with him at a couple different Super Bowl gatherings, I said, if KY is racing, KY is winning. Well, maybe he wins just like he did back in 15 and 16 this weekend at the greatest racetrack on earth. The Brickyard 400 is this Sunday. And the man who's going to win it, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Busch. Pretty good rhythm. It comes bearing gifts, it does.
Wow, look at this. Like Thanksgiving dinner.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you. This is very, very kind of you.
wow.
I'm going to do some.
I didn't bring any for the rest of you guys.
I already had some.
Well, that's rowdy football, baby.
It's in the back room.
Yeah, I had 2 of those plates.
We,
Hey, are you a bucket hat guy? Not so much.
I have a large head. I assume that one's not going to fit.
I
my
don't
head.
think so. No, I kind of judged by size. Just
That
a
guy
little
right
bit.
over there, though,
This guy,
loves
Bruce
bucket
Brown.
cap.
I'm
Yeah?
bucket hat
Yeah,
guy.
he's a bucket cap guy.
bucket hat guy.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, bucket hat guy.
Thank
Bucket hat guy.
Wow.
Bucket hat Bruce.
You
Thank you
lucky
so
son
much.
of a bitch.
It is.
Wow.
You sailor, you.
Wow, that is a sailor cap.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Born to wear it.
I'd say. Yeah,
That'll
I'd say.
do.
You about to sail across the Atlantic to go to Royal Troon, brother? You're good.
Kyle, thank you
That's
for
nice.
that.
That's
yeah,
style.
thank you for
That's
bringing
good.
that to our office.
Absolutely. Of course.
Obviously, we're going to
You
have
got
to
the
look.
number 8 special there, man.
This
You got
num-
the chicken tenders.
Okay. This is a good chicken tender right here. I
Yeah, absolutely.
I see the chicken tender. It is beautiful. Cheddar's was in Morgantown when I was at WVU. came in.
Yes.
And legitimately, I think like first year I was at WVU, you either go to the nightclubs, you go to a couple house parties, or you go to like Walmart. Like that was literally the hangout. And there was a movie theater as well. But then as Morgantown continued to develop, whenever Pat White, Steve Slayton continued to just win games and then, enrollment went up and everything started going up. More things started coming into Morgantown at like a rapid rate. Cheddar's was one of them.
Perfect.
And my group of humans that I hung out with, all of them, love Cheddar's. Affordable,
yes. Great
food. And the building is like elite.
Oh, yeah. You can get a lot for not a lot. So it is a really good place to go eat. They got some great food. So you got the honey butter croissant there as well, too. You love some croissant?
I love the croissant. There's a croissant club sandwich I actually put in whenever I heard there was Cheddar's coming. I was like, I order the croissant club every single time. I mean, that's like 10 years ago because I think we have a Cheddar's on the other side of the city here in Indianapolis that I think I've stopped at like one time, but not in my area. So I haven't had the greatness that is Cheddar's in a while.
Yep.
But they said, number 8 special's coming. Okay.
Yeah.
And you need to understand why. These chicken tenders are the real deal.
They're the real deal.
So
That's right.
They say to you, Kyle Busch, adult, they say, hey, what do you want your meal to be? And you say, give me some chicky tendies.
What?
Give me some carrots.
Yeah, I do carrots. I like
Steamed
carrots. I like
are
corn.
delicious. Yeah.
You know?
See, and then this broccoli ched mix,
That's right.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you got a good option here at
It
Cheddar's.
is. It's a very good option. You can't go wrong. There's so many sides, different things that you can order up, so it's all good.
I thought you were an M&M's guy.
I was an M&M's guy.
Okay, like long time M&M's guy.
Yeah, 15 years.
As somebody who didn't know racing much,
Yeah.
but did get a chance to meet you early in my career.
That's right.
And also, I think middle, you're like
Middle.
heyday, like you're in the middle of like being Kyle Busch. And
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that you're not still, but you get it. You were kind of.
When was that? Like 2010, 11?
I think so. Yeah. That was good times, right?
When was the Super Bowl here in Indy?
2011.
2011.
Yeah, 2011, 2012.
When was the one that was in New York? Was that the year before? That was the Broncos and Seahawks one, right?
Yeah, and then Louisiana. When was that? That was 2 after, I think. Anyway, I saw you
Yeah.
at a lot of Super Bowls.
We did. The first time I think was New York, and then the next time was here. We all went to Steak and Shake afterwards.
It's closed now late night, by the way. That is a
Don't tell
disappointing
Wendy.
thing that is around the city. It is a problem, but we have been in
Yeah.
there. Your limo. Thank you for driving me home that
That's
night.
right.
But after watching and getting to know you, when I would have a NASCAR race on, I'm like, all right, I'm looking for the M&M's car.
That's right.
That's literally what I'm doing.
Yep.
In NASCAR, I guess those relationships turn over quickly. You and M&M's were together a long time, it felt like, right?
Yeah, well, M&M's was in NASCAR for 24, 25 years. I was with them for 15, and then they just kind of like wiped their hands and said, "We're good. We've done what we needed to do here," and they walked out.
NASCAR as a whole? Or,
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, so they decided to allocate funds elsewhere.
They did, exactly,
And-
right. I mean, that's sports worlds, right? I mean, you're going to have sponsors that come, sponsors that go all the time.
But you and M&M's were a great relationship. Now,
Yeah, we won 2 championships together.
Hell
Hell yeah.
Wow. Come on now.
Which one was it? Was it peanut M&Ms or your go-to, or peanut butter inside the M&Ms? Which M&Ms are your?
So the first time I won the championship was in 2015, and the car was actually green, so it was the crispy M&M. So it was like a Rice Krispie inside.
Fire.
Oh.
And then the second time I won, it was the peanut. It was the yellow car, the peanut car.
But eating you personally.
Me personally, what was my favorite?
Yeah.
The naked M&Ms.
Oh, wow. Excuse me.
Which ones are those ones?
So the naked, nobody gets nakeds. You gotta know a guy. So it's literally just the chocolate. It's the chocolate itself. That's it. So you can get peanut with chocolate covered with no hard candy shell.
So those come frozen in a fridge, or how do you?
You have to call. You gotta know somebody. You gotta call them. And if you want the nakeds, you can get the nakeds. It's before they put the color shell on the outside.
Okay, because melt in your mouth, not in your hand. You would assume
That would definitely melt.
Yeah, it
very
would seem
fast.
like that is a melt, but you say it is delightful.
It is very delightful. Yes.
Okay, so M&M's moves on from NASCAR, so you have
Yep.
to go a certain way. So when does Cheddar's come into the conversation, and how pumped are you about Cheddar's? This
Yeah.
has to be good.
So with M&M's, I raced for Joe Gibbs Racing, and then when all that kind of went down, I needed to find a new team. I basically had to go find a new place to race, and so I joined Richard Childress Racing, and I'm in the number 8 car, so hence the number 8 special.
Oh, yeah.
And when I joined Richard Childress Racing, Cheddar's was there as a sponsor, and so they picked myself up as the spokesperson, and the relationships kind of flourished and gone on, and we've won some races, 3 races last year, so we're still looking for our first win this year.
Okay, how deep into the season are we right now?
We're about halfway. I'd say we're right at halfway. So
And we have not won yet.
we have not won yet. Nope. It's been a little bit more miss than it's been hit or miss.
What's been a hit? I heard there's been a lot of hitting, right?
Yeah, there has been a lot of hitting.
Stenhouse.
Yeah.
Stenhouse family.
Some fisting and.
There has been some fisting.
A lot of fisting.
There has been a lot of fisting.
That's right.
All over the place.
Right.
I saw you fisting all over that place.
Yeah, we were throwing some haymakers.
That's old school. That felt old school.
Yeah, that's old school. That's old school NASCAR. NASCAR, that's how it was born. Essentially, it was born 1979 Daytona 500. There was a wreck on the backstretch, 2 guys racing for the win, and they crashed each other, and afterwards they started fighting.
Okay, so the fight was awesome. We all talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fact that you were involved in it makes it even better for us, just so we can just act like assholes. And then Stenhouse Sr., too, him getting involved. And then the I don't know if he's an offensive lineman or not. The pit crew guy that was, get off my truck. You know, that absolute beast.
Yeah,
there.
Justin, he's the man.
Yeah,
he definitely came out the winner of that whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, congrats, Justin. Somebody's got to win it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to win it. So here the conversation's taking place, and he was sitting by the truck like, boom, boom. You took a sip, too. I don't think you thought it was coming, right? You did not think he was going to haul off and haymaker you or whatever your exact thoughts.
While I was walking up, I saw him there, and I'm like, okay, he's going to be pissed. He's going to want to fight, right? And so he starts talking, and he's cool, calm, collected, everything's fine. So I started to let my guard down. And then I was given my reasonings of everything, and then he was not happy with my reasonings, and so, but I saw
in the
it
court
coming.
of law, you were laying out your case.
So he gave me enough notice of the shoulder pullback that I was starting to turn around, and I elbowed up, and I didn't get clobbered too bad.
Have you ever been punched by a guy wearing that type of shorts before? I don't know if you saw his shorts.
Yeah, interesting.
It's tough to take serious those shorts, but that right hand, real problem. I would like to get into. You just punch it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I love your reaction. You're a dog, Kyle, and obviously the guy just tried to punch you in the face, and you're walking back at him afterwards. I mean, that is whole scene. And shout out to Ricky, by the way, standing on business there in his particular mind. But I think the one thing we're kind of confused about is whenever they showed the clip.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I don't know if this is the part or when they're the part. How many situations in these races are there situations where it's like, hey, we're going to fight? Because if you're not rubbing,
you're not racing,
is what we are told as outsiders, okay? So there's certain rubs you're allowed to do. There's certain things you're not allowed to do that you guys all have an understanding with.
Yeah.
You did something he didn't. You broke some moral driving code. Is that how these fights happen, or why do these things kind of take place?
There's a lot to it, yeah. So I would say the biggest thing is he has been known to crash a lot of stuff. He essentially got let go from one of his teams because he wrecked too much.
Aggressive driver, we'll say.
No, he just crashed a lot, sometimes even on his own.
Okay.
And so there was another
I don't want to
race.
restart any beef here, but
but we can.
Yeah, but we can.
I hear you. But there was another race a few years earlier where we're racing at Daytona, and just out of nowhere, he gets into my left rear and spins me out and crashes me.
Like a pit maneuver like the police do.
No, I don't even think he really meant to, but it happened, and he wrecked me. And so I wasn't too thrilled about it, and so I made up my own nickname for him, and he wasn't appreciative of that. And then that was it. I never talked about it again after
What
that.
was the nickname?
What was the nickname?
Recky Spinhouse.
Oh,
That's good.
How quick did that come out of the mouth?
I might not have been the first one that have said that.
Okay.
So
this is like a stand-up.
But you were like,
Yeah.
that's the one right
yeah,
there.
I'm like, it fits, it sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, Recky Sr., same thing.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay,
So he wrecks me, and so after this, after the fight, he was like, yeah, I punched him because he always keeps talking crap about me, and I'm like, no, I only did that once after you wrecked me, and never again. Even funnier story about this whole thing is 2 months prior to the fight happening, Ricky bought a toter home from me, like a toter home, motorhome, to go travel up and down the road for his race car program.
business. You guys doing business?
Yeah, he bought it from me. We're talking, we're fine. Wouldn't call us friends, but we're acquaintances. We actually all hung out together at a Cirque du Soleil show in Charlotte one night. So
I had
everything's
no
fine.
idea Charlotte would ever host a Cirque du Soleil show.
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
it was in a tent. It was like Barnum and Bailey,
Okay.
But the NASCAR people heading over to Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Right?
exactly.
Range.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, I mean, we're all hanging out, we're all friends, we're all having a good time, and then all of a sudden now I'm getting punched in the face. So
Let's talk about the more grander NASCAR fighting thing. And then we'll get into the racing and this weekend at the greatest track on earth. In our eyes, we live here, obviously. It's the Indy 500, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yep.
There are 300,000 people come here every single year. The amount of benefit to the community that place has for this. I mean, it's like
it's huge.
synonymous with
the May, the whole month of May.
In NASCAR, it's like 20. You guys been here a long time now, I feel like.
I think this is year 30.
Yeah, so like long time. It's been a great relationship in this whole thing. But whenever we see these fights happen, and obviously I guess it's depth. There's some depth to it between you and Recchi in this entire thing. But normally, is it like built up beefs, or like when we're watching the drivers? Is there things you're just not allowed to do? Like what is like the number one rule amongst the drivers you're not allowed to do? Because I hear like, hey, he's going low, that's his lane. Like you're supposed to know where somebody's supposed to be. We can put it on the back wall, so it's a little.
I see. Well, I mean, I don't know what we're looking at. We're just looking at that's rubbing is racing, I guess. So those guys were rubbing each other. Yeah, that's just banging off one another. Like,
allowed to do that. Allowed to do that.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, close quarters racing, that's a short track. You're coming off the corner. It's tight anyways, so like stuff like that's going to happen. I think what isn't allowed to happen is basically what happened to me last weekend at Pocono with Corey LaJoie. We were on a restart. We're all kind of fanning out at Pocono down the front straightaway. This is post of it.
38 to go. This is afterwards. They'll probably run the replay.
Yeah, exactly. When they run the forward.
But what's he going to do whenever we see this replay when it inevitably comes here? I think hopefully
our guys backstage. We're working on it.
There we go. Okay, so here it is.
So I'm over to the right. I just shoot off the screen there, and so that's Corey to my inside. And I was blocking him. Well, we're already like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm the fifth car. I'm 5 wide. And then you'll see down here on the bottom right of the screen, the yellow line will start coming up. And so Corey's like, well, I got to get back on the racetracks. There's a yellow line. And so instead of just blending in behind me and making sure that he doesn't crash the whole field,
he clips you.
He just clips me. And like, that's like stupid. Like, what are we doing? We're going 190 miles an hour into that corner, and we're going to wreck each other?
Yeah, now you're wrecking 6 other people as well, because obviously at that speed, you're not just going to be able to stop. You're going to be sent elsewhere. It's like when people are walking and you just kick their back leg. You can't do that. In hockey, it's called a slew foot, actually. It's like
don't
something.
Do that.
So in driving, that is also a very common thing, like, hey, don't pit maneuver somebody.
And that's the second time he did that this year. He did it to old 7-time Jimmy Johnson at Kansas.
Okay, so do you guys have a conversation, like a players-only meeting, like a drivers-only meeting? No,
I didn't even know. He texted me, and then he called me. I didn't even reach back out because he changed his story 4 times. So I'm like, you're just a liar. Like, you wrecked me. Like, I get it. It's fine. Whatever. Payback's coming.
But you guys are going 200 miles an hour. You have to have a lot of little faith in each other, right? Because you're all
I don't have faith in any of them.
That's
really. I mean, that's scary. Individually,
they're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been wrecked 5 out of the last 7 races by somebody. So I don't have faith in it. Maybe I'm just slow and I'm in the way.
Nope.
And they know I'm slow, so I'm an easy guy to pass.
You're Kyle Busch.
They just want to. So they're just like they just want to knock me out. And
does your car suck or no? You have a good car.
Our cars have not been that great right now. We're working on it. I mean, we've come to a lot of things of what we're kind of learning about and figuring out. Last year we were good. Like I joined RCR, we won 3 of the first 15 races or something like that. It was pretty good. And then we haven't won since, so it's been a bit of a dry spell. So we're working on it.
And that's not rowdy racing.
No.
The dry spell is not right, because I've been able, as a very casual, very, very out of the world of NASCAR fan of NASCAR, just been able to openly talk shit to NASCAR fans because of you. Because the things that I know about you just from our conversations, I've been like, what are we even talking about? Is KY out there? Yeah, KY. That's literally all I would say.
Yeah.
KY's racing. KY's winning. And then more likely than not, you would. You were racing on Saturdays. You were racing on Sundays. You were racing trucks, I think.
That's right.
At one point, you were literally just winning like every single race. So for you to have this dry spell, I want to let you know it's affecting me too.
It is. Yes. It's making me very sad.
Exactly.
Okay, so at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, massive oval.
Yeah, big oval, 2.5 miles. Yeah.
So is this an aggressive driving track for NASCAR? Because obviously IndyCar is a whole different racing strategy than NASCAR is.
Yeah.
With the way they're built. What is the driving style like for the Brickyard 400 on Sunday, and what should we be looking for?
I mean, restarts are going to be tough for sure because and that was probably part of the reason why Corey was so aggressive on the restart last week is most of your positions are made within the first lap of a restart. And then after that, we kind of all get singled out and kind of spread out because these cars don't allow you to race very close to each other in dirty air. So you're going 190 miles an hour down the straightaway. You get to 120 miles an hour through the corner at the Brickyard. And for your car to follow in the wake of the guy in front of you, it wants to blow out from behind it because there's no downforce on it. It's not pushing the car in the track, so it wants to just take off. So everybody wants to make all their ground up as much as they can, as quick as they can, and then because once it singles out, you can't catch that guy in front of you.
So that's why restarts are chaotic.
Restarts are chaotic. Exactly.
How many restarts a race are you guys expecting to have?
I mean, you already have the stage breaks. So you have the stage 1 will end.
We hate that
two.
or not?
A lot of people don't like stage racing.
I think it's hard for me to care.
Yes.
Like if I turn on, we're on stage 1, I'm changing channel. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's what NASCAR wants me to do. I assume NASCAR fans are sticking with
So
it.
if it's stage 3, you're going to stay tuned in?
Bingo, because I'm like, okay, we can actually.
Okay, but if it's just a standard race and it says 250 laps or whatever it is, and you turn on and it's like lap 20, are you
I'm
going to?
probably going to my phone. It depends on what else
Stay
is on.
on.
Keeping it on, on your phone.
Yeah, but whenever I see this is 1 of 3, and then they're like, we're going to take a break pretty much. It's like, okay, this is episode 1.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get to the finale of it.
This is good. This is good.
That's just mentally, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the only person that views it that way, but it's like 1 and 2 of 3. It's in anything is hard to like kind of take
So a hockey
as
hockey game, you doing the same thing? If it's,
period 1, period 2, period 3?
Yeah.
No, I'm watching hockey.
You're watching hockey?
Yeah, Kyle, no offense. There's not any straight away. We're not all kind of saying.
What do you think the hockey game?
Yeah, we're not waiting for restarts there. You know, hockey.
Sticks on ice.
Yeah.
We got McJesus kind of doing his thing, although he doesn't like being called that. But I just like the stages came in because people wanted you guys to be more aggressive earlier in the race. Is that what it was? Or
They
what?
so years ago, NASCAR would throw phantom cautions whenever they wanted, whenever they thought the race was getting boring. And all of us racers, the competitive guys, were like, hey, this is BS. Like, you can't just throw a yellow whenever you want to throw a yellow. Like, you got to tell us when you're going to throw a yellow if you want to close up the competition. So they made stage racing. So now they have breaks in the racing to close everybody back up together. So one guy doesn't run off with a win of 8 seconds or 10 seconds away.
Because to your point, restarts are when the shit's going down.
That's right.
So NASCAR's like, we need
Need as many of these.
Yeah, we need a
as
restart.
Need more.
And then there's some decisions, I know this from IndyCar, I think there was a restart granted or not granted whenever they were on caution, and the person that maybe owns the whole thing, their team was involved in are we going to restart, or are we going to finish on a yellow, or are we not going to do it? There's so many like little decisions within a race that take place that are like a massive piece of it all, right, in racing?
Yeah, I mean, so NASCAR, the rules between IndyCar and NASCAR are different on when it comes to the end of the race. IndyCar can end under yellow. Like if they take, let's just say.
Yeah, but I think Penske's new thing is like, nah.
They don't want that anymore?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
There's been
so
a
they
couple
want to go
races-
more NASCAR way.
I think there's been a couple races where Penske drivers were maybe not, and they could have ended. Somebody else wins. And then this is me just
Allegedly.
this is me trying to remember headlines and drama from the IndyCar world.
Sure.
Because Penske buys. Very smart, by the way. You've seen us be sued multiple times.
Is that what all this is? Is this all
These are all the lawsuits.
That's all the lawsuits of the show, right?
That's exactly what that is. But I think like it used to maybe finish under a caution, but then I think Penske with like his leadership now over the Speedway, the 500, the league, I think, and everything.
Yes.
I think they're trying not to do that.
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
And it
because
might
we
have
don't end
benefited-
under yellow.
Okay, good. Which you shouldn't, I don't think.
No.
Right. So we I think it was Nashville actually 4 weeks ago. That was another one that I got crashed out on. I was running fourth on a restart. We got wrecked, and then they went into 5 overtimes.
See, that's awesome.
Love
So
OT.
the-
We need that to be pumped into.
They
Yeah.
kept wrecking. You know what I mean? That's that respect level. That's the, hey, do you trust anybody out there? Hell no, because they're just going to run over you. They don't care.
How long have you been in NASCAR?
This is my 20th season of Cup.
Is this a younger generation that you're kind of like talking like, yeah, you see, you guys like the way they drive and you getting crashed out? Is that how they view you? As like,
The racing has undoubtedly changed the last
you're a
5 or
NASCAR
6
driver,
years.
who cares?
Either
Yeah.
way.
I don't
right.
think-
We knew
if
what you were
get that
saying.
word-
Yeah.
If you get that word right or wrong, I don't think anybody.
It's changed. It's changed a lot. The older generation, the Jeff Gordons, the Tony Stewarts, the Mark Martins, the Rusty Wallaces, the
Right.
Bobby Labonis, like those
guys.
guys, they would bust your ass if you messed around, or like if you didn't race and have proper race etiquette. They would wreck you. Like they would shoo you out. Tony especially. Or he would come fight you afterwards, one or the other.
Gotta
Want
love
that
it.
smoke.
Yeah,
you
some
want that
smoke.
He lives in a Cabela's south of the city here.
Yes, he does. I think he's trying to sell it.
Yeah,
have
yeah,
you not
yeah.
bought
Very
it yet?
expensive.
Have you not bought it yet?
The price he's put on that thing, I would have to drive 2 hours to work here. Even though there is
Or fly.
You're right. I guess there is a fishing pond with a helipad in the middle of it in the back. What he has created is obviously
love Tony. So anyway, Tony and I had our few mishaps and mix-ups along the way, but I feel like now that I'm older, now I see where he's coming from. And so I have a greater respect for what he was telling me and trying to teach me back in that day.
Ty has a question for you, Kyle.
Yeah, so in terms of the dry spell, like, is it something where hey, I need to do this better in the car? I need to, there are certain things that you need to do better in terms of driving, or does it really all come down to, hey, the car is just not competitive right now and we can't win with how the car is right now?
It's both, for sure. I mean, there's definitely things that I've done in races that have kind of taken us out. I've sped on pit road, or I've made a restart mistake, or I've picked the wrong lane on a restart. Daytona 500 earlier this year, I chose the outside lane because I thought the outside was going to go, and if I would have chose the inside lane, I probably would have had a shot to win or at least finish top 4. I think I ended up 12th. You know what I mean? So there are things that I do that could be better, but ultimately it comes down to how fast your car is. Fast cars cure all is what I always say.
Speed kills matchups.
Yeah.
That's what they say in football.
Well, Harvick also says you can't drive a slow car fast. So, I mean, there's all of that comes down to it. And the biggest thing is just, having that speed. When we've had our races the last few weeks, we're stuck in the 20s or 30s or whatever the hell it is. I can't pass. I can't go forward. But when you take me out of the 30s and put me to the 10s, I'm hanging in there. I can do okay. I'm fine. You could about do that with everybody in the field because these cars are pretty equal now. And so it's just hard to make up that time and that distance to the competition. So when you come down pit road, we've had pit road mishaps, where we've left a wheel loose or we've dropped the jack early or some things have happened. We've been short on fuel before. So all of that has happened, but ultimately it comes down to just being faster.
You still got time to piece it together, too. We're only halfway through, and maybe the Brickyard is where the whole team and everything comes together.
That'd be sweet.
Properly. What are, all these crashes? 5 out of the last 7 you've been crashed?
Yeah.
What are they saying about, you're saying you're getting crashed out. Is the other people saying it's your fault? Or is this a thing that where dog chase tail on whose fault it is? Or does kind of everybody understand what's the deal?
Yeah, on the one on the screen there, Corey tried to blame me twice, and then he changed his story. And anyways, I need to stop giving fame to those that don't deserve it.
So there's a little pettiness going on.
The Nashville one, I was 4th in line on a restart. Kyle Larson was in front of me. He ran out of gas. His teammate behind me didn't check up in time, which none of us checked up in time. We didn't expect it, so I just got spit out of the middle and into the wall and ended our race. So that wasn't really anybody's fault, just circumstantial.
But normally there is a understanding of why something happened amongst the drivers?
Not really. Loudon a few weeks ago, I got dumped off of turn 2 by Ryan Preece. I don't know. I need the race schedule. I'll tell you.
No, he blames you, or you
Ross Chastain wrecked me at Sonoma with 1 lap to go.
Come on, Ross.
Oh, you said a name there, Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
You guys all, he's good, huh?
He's really good. Yeah. Kyle's probably one of the best that's out there right now, for sure.
Right now? Mm-hmm. They're talking about him maybe being generational. Is that tough to say? Because I know there was a bunch of I think dirt track fans that came to Indianapolis to watch him do the Indy 500.
Yep.
Was he a sprint car racer? What
he was a sprint car racer. Yeah, he came from the dirt world. Mm-hmm.
And he won a lot there.
He won a lot there. He still wins a lot there. He goes back and ventures in the dirt world right now and wins a lot in the dirt world as well too.
Did you do dirt track racing or no?
Not a lot. I'm doing a lot more now actually because my kid's racing. So my kid is racing junior sprints and restricted mini micro sprint cars and stuff. And so he's doing really good at it. So while he's racing, I like to have my own car just so I can go out there and tool around and whatever. And I've won a couple races, but nothing like Larson's done.
Yeah, he's they're talking greatest of all time maybe, right?
Yeah. I mean, so I love Kyle, and Kyle's can be one of the greatest of all time.
Talking dirt car, dirt track is what I just said. Greatest, he's one of the greatest.
Oh, greatest of all times on dirt.
Yeah, that's what this person drove.
Oh yeah, all the way from Virginia
to Watt, and they showed up and they sat literally just sat outside of our office here, and then we saw him on our way out, and we're like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "We came here to watch Kyle." That's what we.
I think Steve Kinzer has 20-something championships
in dirt.
Wow, jeez.
In World of Outlaw sprint car competition.
Phelps,
but that was his world. That's where he made his name stay in the sprint car world. He came up to NASCAR, tried NASCAR, wasn't very good at NASCAR, went back down. So he would be the greatest of all time of sprint car racing, in my opinion, right? where Kyle made his name in the dirt world and everything, made it to the Cup Series, has now won a championship at the Cup level, is probably one of the best drivers right now today. But he also just got placed with one of the best teams about 3 years ago with Hendrick Motorsports, where prior to that with Ganassi Racing, he won races. He was good. He finished up front. He was good.
Okay,
He won.
Chip.
But he wasn't as dominant or as consistent as he is now in better equipment.
You're saying situations are situational. We judge
right.
quarterbacks this way.
Kyle Busch, for 15 years being with the JGR Toyota relationship that I had, I was a contender every single week, every single year for a championship. And now
we got to rebuild that.
We got to rebuild that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so how do you do that? Like in Formula One, the big conversation is, whoever Max Verstappen's engineers are, like they're the best engineers in the entire world. Like, is it very similar in NASCAR where you guys have to bring in a different engineer to make your car better, or like do you add NOS? Do you need better wheels?
Yeah, do we have push to pass? Do you guys have push to pass?
We don't have push to pass, no.
Would you want that or no?
Yeah, I kind of would think that yes.
Because that's IndyCar, right? They have like a certain amount of
You have
NOS.
a certain amount of time during the race that, yes, you can get push to pass. Yeah, I think that would be pretty good for us.
And if they want to make it more entertaining, that feels like a very easy way to make it more entertaining if you're adding more speed to the track.
And decision making.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you were asking me about engineering.
Engineering,
it's
in the
engineering.
car.
Yes, it's engineering in the car. That's where it's at. Like a lot. So when we're in the next gen car. It's a new car that just came out 3 years ago. And the first year or two, like all the teams kind of didn't really know a whole lot about it. So there was a lot of different winners. I think there was 18 different winners that year.
Because different breakthroughs kind of happening in teams.
Well, that and just situation and people kind of hitting it, some not, whatever. Well, now that we've gotten some data behind the car and some races underneath our belt, the better teams are starting to separate themselves from the rest of the teams they've figured something out. They know where the tricks are in this thing to make it faster than everybody else. If you're in a Hendrick car and if you're in a Joe Gibbs racing car, you're the guys to beat each and every week. The Fords, the Penske guys, you can kind of throw them in a little bit here or there. They've won the last 3 championships in this car. They always show up at the end when it comes time to pay the money.
Hell yeah.
But then like the rest of the teams like RCR, Front Row, Roush, Trackhouse, like we're all winning like maybe one race a year.
Trying to figure it out.
Just maybe getting lucky winning that one race a year because now those big teams have kind of taken off.
Well, let's win this weekend.
Hell yeah.
that would be nice.
That would be cool. That would be so cool for us if you go and win.
I'll come right back here on Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
That'll be the deal.
I'll bring the trophy.
Hey, we know you got practice or some other shit. We can't thank you enough for stopping by.
No, I appreciate that. I'm glad I can help educate you guys and get your NASCAR knowledge a little bit higher.
You certainly did.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I feel much smarter now, and at least I'll know what I'm watching. Is this a stage race this weekend?
Yeah, every race is a stage race.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Who has the time?
No, this is the one. This is the one we're gonna watch every stage.
What time is it? Oh, you should. You don't know. I mean,
It should be 2:30. You should have that. How do you not have that?
Yeah, see,
your
that's the
NASCAR
thing.
folks didn't give you all the information.
I mean, I'm sure it's on a piece of paper somewhere. 2:30 on Sunday. Got it.
Yep.
Right
It
there.
is. Yeah, 2:30 on Sunday.
We might be
That's
there.
right. What
We might
channel
actually-
are we on?
Come and catch a race on NBC.
NBC Main. Yeah, I figured it'd be NBC. Okay.
Yeah. It's
So sometimes we're on USA.
Say
sometimes-
USA. Yeah, US.
Yeah, Cookout 400s.
No, that's Darlington.
Yeah, those next.
Look at
two
the top.
after.
The top. Yep.
Yeah, that's.
We're
yeah,
on-
we're,
Oh no.
we're talking about USA. Though.
Yeah,
the
USA
next
Network's
one.
got
We're
Cookout
talking about
400.
sports
We're on Big
USA.
Peacock.
Do you race all those? Do you race in all these
wanted to say
races?
Peacock.
Yes.
Yeah.
You race all of them.
Yeah.
When are
if
you
you
gonna get-
miss one, then you're screwed. They take you out of eligibility for the championship.
You're nowhere near finishing. You race forever. You're gonna race forever.
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, I'll go as long as good Lord lets me.
Amen.
I've got another 5-6 years in me at least. That's about the time my boy will be old enough. He'll get here.
I'll race alongside like LeBron and Bronny.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
sweet.
he'll be 16.
Imagine,
He
yeah.
won't be in the top series when he's 16. He'll
you-
be in the trucks.
So like in ball sports,
Mm-hmm.
The highest professional athletes. Not every dad with their kid, but like professional athletes seemingly with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just you're getting nothing. Like playing basketball with dad, who's a professional basketball player, that shit's getting sent. You're a 5-year-old, we don't care. That you're not scoring on your dad potentially until you're like 17, 16,
Yeah.
17,
Yeah.
as your dad gets older. Football, same exact way.
yeah.
AJ Hawk is not letting his kid run him over. That kid is getting Hey, this is how this goes. We play Racing World. You race against your kid ever? Have you gotten in there like go-karting or?
Well, yeah, like go-karting, just stuff off track.
We
but
race
not
hard?
racing stuff.
No. Like would you race your kid hard or no?
Yeah, no. Probably in the next year or two, I'd say probably 2 years, that micro stuff that we race, the mini sprint car stuff, he can race in the same class that I can race in. He'll be old enough for that. So, like, we could race at that level, and he'll only be 11.
Wow.
And you better beat his ass.
Yeah, bye.
He'll probably beat me.
That's what I'm saying. If an 11-year-old, if you're an 11-year-old and you beat your dad, that's
man.
tough to walk into the house.
Yeah.
Every time you lose a race, he's gonna have all the answers. Is it 12-year-old?
Yeah, you gotta move.
Trust me, I'm not allowed trophies in our house, but he's got all of his trophies in our house.
Oh, that's bullshit. Well, please tell the wife, the family, we said hello. And,
I will. You
good
got
luck
it.
this weekend. We might be there, legitimately.
Hell
This-
yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, come by. Yeah, we'll get you guys up on our pit box. You guys can check it out from the infield and right up there, right firsthand.
If we plan on going there, we should say 7-8 hours probably is how long we'll
Needing to be there ahead of time.
10 hours. How long is the day?
whole race.
If we were to commit to coming to this particular thing, let's say I could put a bucket hat on.
Race starts at 2:30.
Yep.
If you're there by 11, that's probably fine. You can probably buzz out by 5:30.
6.5 hours.
That's not terrible.
All right, good chance to see you at the next race. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Hey, if you go to the Brickyard, you're probably there at least 12 hours.
Yeah, no doubt. I got a
Or
big,
to the Indy 500, I mean, not Brickyard. We're the Brickyard.
well, getting out. Well, the Brickyard's also the golf course in there, which is a beautiful golf course.
Yeah.
And the line of let's kiss those.
I've kissed those twice. Yeah.
15, 16.
Yeah, 15, 16. I've kissed those bricks. I should have been 3 in a row. I got wrecked.
Seems to be a story.
By who,
I
Recky?
don't like it.
Was it Recky Stenhouse Sr.?
No, it was Martin Truex Jr.
That son of a bitch. Just like Marty True Rex Sr. used to do. Just same old thing.
Bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who is obviously a racing legend, and this weekend you can catch the Brickyard 400 at 2:30 on NBC, live from the greatest racetrack on earth, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That's right.
Get
Let's
your
go.
cheddars
Get
today.
you some cheddars.
That's right.
Let's go.
Number 8.
It's
All right.
special.
I'll tell you what, it's been hard to eat on the show.
You're going to eat on the show?
Well, I tried. I took a bite because I have not had the chicken tender. I literally only have the club sandwich with the croissant every time I go there. So I wanted to sample the chicken tender. Delightful.
So
good.
good.
So good.
It's a very delightful
10 of
chicken
them.
tender.
Good.
I couldn't imagine the broccoli cheddar is good, but these croissants right here you can eliminate.
Oh yeah.
You get a basket
bite.
of them.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you can just make them disappear.
Rexon and I had a croissant eating competition, so I may or may not have won that one.
So wait, if you gain weight, your car's slower.
Yeah, perfect world, you'd be 170 pounds. That's about what the weight. So they weigh the car and driver together when they go over the scales and stuff, but the where you can put your weight in the car. So I'm 200-pound guy, so that when they add weight to my car, we're adding 30 pounds less to the car than if you were a 170-pound guy.
Got it. So do you ever just like maybe Matthew McConaughey? What movie was that?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Just
I can skip lunch every now and then, but man, when you got cheddars over there,
oh yeah.
Tough.
you're picking that number 8 special when you can. So.
Yeah, you're damn right. And then maybe have a little bit of that rowdy whiskey.
No, Rebel.
Rebels.
Rebel
Get
bourbon.
rowdy.
Get
Rebel
rowdy.
bourbon.
Get rowdy
Drink
with
rowdy
Rebel
on the
whiskey.
Rebel.
Get rowdy on the Rebel bourbon.
Hell yeah.
What was my first question to you about that? What was my first
If I was part owner in it,
Yeah.
I wish I was.
And then as soon as you said no, I said, well, I ain't talking about that. Because everybody has a whiskey. You should definitely have a whiskey. That feels like something.
It's either whiskey or tequila, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I saw some. I might take that.
What's that? You
Nothing.
take whatever you want.
Nothing.
The Mana.
Oh,
fine.
got some Terramana? You can have some Terramana. We got 30 Terramanas.
Yeah, I got
in
mana on mana.
here. You could definitely take some. You stay in a bus for
Yeah,
this race?
yeah.
Yeah, take some Mana, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got? Prevo? For,
Yeah, Prevo.
So nice, those buses.
Yeah, they're expensive too. You need one?
I got one.
Okay. You need another one? These guys.
I know you're selling them.
Mine's got bunks.
Well, if you sell one to me, I know you'll probably try to fight me.
Yeah.
A couple weeks later, like
It would be. Yeah, it wouldn't be too far out.
with Recky Stenhouse. Ladies and gentlemen,
All
Kyle
right.
Busch, we appreciate
Appreciate y'all. Thanks. Have a good one.
We appreciate you, dude. Good luck.
Checkers really is no joke.
Appreciate it, man.
Good luck this weekend. Go get him.
Hey, go get him, Kyle.
Go get him.
Hey, go race good, Kyle. You. Hey, can we get a double gun real quick?
Bang!
Thank you, KY.
Blow those guns. Bruce, what the hell are you doing? Put that hat
Put it
back
on. Put it back on.
Spitting Kyle
Hey,
Busch's
look, it's
face.
right here. It's on
Put
display.
it back on,
Put it back
Bruce.
on, Bruce.
Put it on,
Put it on.
Bruce.
You just spitting.
Put it back on,
I look
Bruce.
ridiculous.
What
He's
are you
gonna come.
doing?
He's gonna come punch you in the mouth.
You idiot. Yeah. Now put it on and eat that chicken. God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take a bite of that.
Oh, eat the chicken.
Hey, a little respect. Thank you to Danielle from Cheddar's for bringing it. The Richard Childress Racing team is here, obviously. Full packed group. Content producer for Kyle Busch came right in with the camera on.
Yep.
Yeah, we can film wherever the hell we want. Don't worry about it. Yeah, sure. Do whatever you need to do. Film. You want to go to my house? Film my family?
Watch me come take a shit.
This is my bathroom.
Really good people. I do genuinely. We're going to talk shit on any human that comes in here, but that was Kyle's been a good person to us. Always has been. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
He dropped you off need to know a little bit more about that limo. You getting dropped off at the end of the night in KWA's limo. I didn't know that.
Morning. End of the night was early morning. Yeah, I got dropped off at a house that I wasn't supposed to buy. You know, as a rookie, they say don't buy a house. You have no idea if you're going to make the team. I was the punter. They drafted me. I was basically told, even though I didn't know how to punt, you're going to make the team. Then it was Kentucky Derby weekend, which is around my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
And I'd never done the Kentucky Derby. With Louisville being here, you know, like 90 minutes south of us, it's like, okay, got to do the Kentucky Derby, and it's my birthday. I got after it, got absolutely after it, started really having a weekend, started having to go. Got intoxicated, bought a house from a guy that I went down to Kentucky Derby with. Now I have a house all of a sudden. I'm not supposed to have a house, got to deal with it. That thing almost goes to foreclosure because I take a trip to Europe. I thought it was on auto pay. It's not on auto pay. Almost lose the house, have the house, you get it. Guard was the worst in the entire neighborhood. Those neighbors had to hate me. I mean, everything that went wrong is wrong. And then every once in a while, a limo would show up at about 5:30 a.m., drop me off in the driveway, and
People going to work.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm just stumbling into my house. But yeah, Kyle Busch has always been a good time.
Yeah.
Legend.
Nick's been with him a couple times. Nick, you've been to a couple of the KY parties, I think, right?
Yeah, one of them was the Super Bowl party in New Orleans, and I mean, I watched that man just down a bottle of something on the stage. I don't know what it was. It was gone so quick you couldn't even tell.
And his wife too. Like his wife and he are like, yeah, we're doing it tonight, aren't we? Yeah,
Great
we are.
tag team.
And they just have a good time. Positive, like no drama, no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like good times, good spirits and everything. And then obviously his limo picks us up, and I have about 1,000 comments about you're not driving a limo. You know,
Yeah, sure.
you're a professional driver.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sit in the back like we're doing right now. Then we got that Steak and Shake that isn't open anymore that Mark Caboli was bummed out about or whatever it was.
Windy.
Oh, sorry.
Caboli would be as well.
They got a lot of each other in them.
It would be.
You could throw Miola in there. Yeah. Which, by the way, happy anniversary to
Tony Miola yesterday.
Jones.
That's why we had him on our show, obviously. The Open is happening, the 152nd, not the British Open, but the Open that happens in Europe, in the British area, is taking place. Where do we stand at this exact moment? 12:45 Eastern, Bruce Brown.
Shane Lowry still up top at 7 under. Billy Ho, friend of the program, is right there in 4th place. He was 3 under today. And then kind of a fun story here in second, Daniel Brown, the Englishman. He qualified through a final qualifying a la the U.S. Open, where, you know, it's like the longest day in golf where they play 36 holes in one day.
So Joel Damon, that's what he did in full.
Yeah, so he qualified that way, and, you know, obviously he's doing well. The Englishman, bit of a journeyman on the European tour.
Scotty Scheffler has obviously gotten into the conversation, which is good news. Anytime Scotty is hunting or in the conversation, we know that
a 35-footer today.
That's beautiful. We saw Tiger do that yesterday, and then he would go on to bogey 14 holes or whatever.
Yes.
So you can definitely bury a putt and get hot in this particular place. But Scotty Scheffler being in the conversation is beautiful. It all depends on who gets the good weather, right? Saturday and Sunday?
Pretty much.
That's kind of the conversation?
Yep. And the wind is crazy.
Well, that's the weather, though, because I guess the wind goes with the tide, and the tide flips.
That's
and
right.
I believe there's a moon and a stars that get involved in this entire thing. I don't know the science behind it all, but I guess whenever that tide flips, so does the wind. And if it's in the middle of flipping time, just like any weather the transition wind, I guess, is pretty strong-ass wind as well. So they're battling the Doppler all weekend.
Yeah, I read this morning that a lot of guys are going to be very aggressive on the back nine because on the front nine they have headwinds that are like so they got like 30-mile-an-hour winds in their faces, and on the back nine they have wind at their back. So like on any of these par fives, like guys can really go after it. But it also seems like if you aren't hitting fairways, like these guys are hitting it in the fescue, and then you're just screwed. Like Bob McIntyre, who won last week, who had, you know, he was doing decent already, like on one of his first holes. I think this is him here. Like he hits it into the fescue, and I think he cards like a snowman on like his first hole of the day, and then he's just done. He's like 10 over now. I think he was 1 over going into the day.
That's how we look like, because you can have like a good 6, which is why I hate golf.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have a good this one stopped.
Yeah, this is brutal.
That's me.
There's been a couple of those too.
How about just the scattering of fans around him? Oh, That's what that little kid.
Yeah.
Little kid with the hoodie right there.
Yep.
Oh,
jeez.
This guy.
People recording and then immediately, let me end
This
that
guy
video.
sucks.
There's going to be a lot of these, though. These are professional golfers. This
Yeah.
is going to be happening all weekend, it looks like me, but you can have 16 great holes.
Yeah.
Literally. Have the round of your life for 16 holes, and then put up a 10. And it's over.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Nope.
What you just did on all those things does not count.
Yep.
That's why the professional golfer and like good golfer is just like two different conversations. This weekend, though, there could be going into the final 9. Anything could happen.
Oh, yes.
Person in the league could end up in 10th. Person in the league could end up in 20th. Person in the league could end up way ahead of everybody. That's why whenever the course is beating everybody's ass, golf does get interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I like seeing darts. I like seeing 180-yard shape shots, coming in close, spinning. Let's go ahead and put it away. I like the American style of golf, I believe is kind of how it. But every once in a while, whenever you get to watch a golf course do its thing, like the U.S. Open or now the Open, it is fun because it makes Sunday very unpredictable. And I think that we are staring that down maybe at a heightened level that we haven't had for a while.
And you could be 10 shots off the lead. Like anyone in that's within, however many strokes, like they have an opportunity to win. So we see a lot of these big names, and where typically it's like, okay, this guy's 9 shots back. Like he has no chance of winning. But like Scotty's 5 back right now. Like he's just as much in play to win this thing as Shane Lowry is.
Ty, what was the big story of Monday, Tuesday? Baseball, wasn't it? Remember we were talking baseball?
Yeah, it was the All-Star game.
Everybody was pumped about it.
They were.
Are they still playing baseball right now?
Yeah, back tonight.
Back tonight.
Second half of the season opens tonight.
Okay. Well, baseball's happening again. I'm sure everybody will watch the final 81 games as post-All-Star baseball takes place. And Pittsburgh Pirates are obviously only going up. And if they make it in the playoffs, that rotation, they got a chance.
Without a doubt. For sure.
Why aren't they throwing Skeens today? We got all this time off.
They got a rotation.
Started the All-Star game.
They got a rotation.
Aren't they planning to, like, hey, we need to time
Can we
it
get
up
Mitch
with the
Keller
Yankees?
then? No.
I don't know. I just learned that guy's on the Pirates.
He's good.
That guy-
Marty Perez is decent arm, Bruce.
We got
Take it
Marty
easy.
Perez coming out. He's got like a 6 ERA. You
That
guys
guy's
got-
on the Pirates as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are two new names that I did not know were on the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I'm excited for Keller and Perez to do their thing. But yeah, you would think one of the Hundo boys would be on the opening night of coming back to baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But did you see the numbers on the All-Star game?
No.
The numbers, the viewers.
Massive.
We're talking about 7.6 million viewers tuned in across Fox, Fox Deportes, Fox Sports streaming services. On Fox game average 7.4 million, which is up 6% over last year. Obviously, a little bit heightened interest, which I would have never thought it to be that much. And look at the top available markets right there. Pittsburgh, 9 to a 9. Are you kidding me?
That's
right
a big
here?
deal.
Huge.
Yeah.
That Pittsburgh is one of the biggest market in the country because Pittsburgh people, we like the Pittsburgh Steelers and then the Pittsburgh Penguins. So there's always been a Pirates fan base. We saw Tone Diggs. We've heard Tone Diggs. There are people in Pittsburgh that have been Pirates fans over the last 30 years somehow.
Long suffering.
Somehow they became a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think they're more a fan of the sport of baseball as opposed to the team. Maybe they're a fan of the ballpark. They like going, whatever the case is. That team was deliberately sabotaging itself, seemingly. They would get good, and then the owner was like, I'm not paying any of these people. We get rid of them. And we got young talent, though. So they continue to turn a buck, and they'd be fucking over these people in Pittsburgh that are Pirates fans, even though the Penguins, who win multiple Stanley Cups, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have won multiple Lombardis, are in the same city. So being a Pirates fan, you were not like in the majority in Pittsburgh. So for Pittsburgh to be the biggest number for the All-Star out of all the markets in the United States of America, that is a huge deal. And the fact that Skeens, the way he is, the way he operates, the human he is, the way he pitches, is in Pittsburgh, beautiful. For me, as somebody who's from Pittsburgh, but also I think for the game, because you're bringing a city back into a sport that was out for a long time.
For sure, and like a historic franchise. Like the Pirates were one of the best teams in the majors for like certain chunks of decades for a very long time. And like you said, like they've been bad for so long that they get these top end draft picks that they're picking guys 1 overall. And then we've talked about it time and time again. Like their owner's a cheapskate, so like these guys would get to the point where it's like, okay, this guy is different, and then they just don't pay him. They say, all right, screw it. They either trade the guy and then he gets paid by somebody else. But it seems like Skeens is finally the guy who's kind of changing that outlook. And if the Pirates can just hang on a little bit, like they could be buyers at the deadline this year, which is kind of what Jet Passan has said and like people have always said. It's like if they could just get a little bit aggressive, like they have to understand the position they're in now. And obviously you look at those numbers, like people in Pittsburgh care. You know, like they want to go to these games. They want to watch this team.
Pittsburgh people love Pittsburgh people.
Exactly.
That's like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has no idea that if he does good for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the amount of love that he's going to feel. Now, I know in Seattle he felt love, but there was always that tension because of Legion of Boom, and then when they move on, there's some shit talk and yada, 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 yada. And then he goes to Denver. Obviously, it is what it is. I know Russell Wilson and Seattle have a great relationship. I'm not saying that. But in Pittsburgh, the type of human that is in Pittsburgh versus the type of human that's in Seattle. And I know Seattle fans are loud and shit like that, but Pittsburgh people are like ruthless, loyal, like dogs. Like that is who.
Go to war
that's just
for it.
naturally Pittsburgh people. Like, we'll go to war. Exactly. If Russell does well in Pittsburgh, he's going to feel better than he's ever felt with an army of Yinzers around him, shit talking for him, battling for him, everything like that. And it's proving here in baseball. It'll prove in hockey. Like,
well,
this team needs this ownership group. Like, Pittsburgh people will say, nah, just like they did to the Pirates for a long time.
Right. They'll let them know for sure. And to your point, Pat, the same thing happens in hockey. Whenever there's an all-star game or, you know, a Winter Classic or a Stadium Series game, one of the top viewing markets is always Buffalo and Pittsburgh because they are just towns that are obsessed with hockey and obsessed with watching the sport, even if their own players aren't the main focus of it, which they have been for the past couple of years. But even if they aren't, they're still interested. They're still invested.
It's a sport town. It's a blue-collar sports town. And the fact that baseball is now back in the hot, good graces of the city is a beautiful thing. And Paul Skeens is the reason.
Yeah.
And Jared Jones is the reason.
Right.
And you got Perez and Keller, these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk about the hot bats they
Brian
got.
Reynolds.
Absolutely.
Kutch coming back.
Cruz. Love everything about these guys. Cruz.
Connor Joe. Are you kidding me?
Connor Joe.
The guy is lightning.
And the manager, the guy, he is.
I actually have no idea who their manager is.
So
Jim Leland.
Derek Shelton. I wish it was Jim Leland.
Not Jim Leland. I think he's maybe done, but
for now
he'll smoke some cigs.
Oh yeah,
to the good of everybody's.
Damn right.
Did you see what went on down at SEC Media Month?
Oh, what was
What's that?
Oh, Nick Saban said that the SEC championship is going to be Georgia and Texas. Well, let's go to some Alabama players. More specifically, let's go to the quarterback, Jalen Milroe, who's obviously recruited by Nick Saban, started for Nick Saban, had a hell of a ride alongside Nick Saban. Now Nick Saban's on TV. This is what he had to say.
With all the resources provided.
Jalen, what do you think about Coach Saban predicting that it's going to be Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship game?
I think the biggest thing is really attacking the offseason. For us, we attacked it by 4 stages of the offseason. Number 1, fourth quarter program. Number 2, spring ball. 3, summer 1. Now 4, summer 2. So like once we have that, you know, with our goals as far as short-term goals, long-term goals that we want to achieve, it's all about building each and every day to be the best version of ourselves each and every day that we come in the building. You know, with the time that we're in the building, you have quotes, you know, throughout the day. So you're honestly motivated.
I love it. I love it. Didn't even answer. Just kind of, here's what we're doing, here's what we're worried about. I assume that everybody in Bama heard what he had to say because they had to address it a couple of times. They got nothing but love for Saban, but hey, that's rat poison, good and bad. Let's keep it out of there. I love what Alabama's doing. Seemingly under the radar, just like Michigan is, seemingly under the radar. And both of them were obviously college football playoff teams last year. And the coach of Alabama was college football national champion coach. And then the coach for Michigan was college football national champion coach. Wild time for college football right now, but also an interesting time to announce that it'll be called Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium down there in Alabama. Wild.
Yeah.
How it's all kind of unfolding. I like that Nick Saban said, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
This is what I'm going to say.
That's his job now.
Because I'll pick West Virginia over everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saban's like, Kirby's got a good team.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
So sorry, I own both. We're back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now.
And now we have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the devil himself, Dylan Bostic.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position. But we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line. The Office Championship Wrestling Championship, presented by Natural Light, is also on the line.
Jesus, the devil's trying to put Bostic straight to hell!
I do not want to
Good
go to
God,
hell!
no!
Don't do
Good
it!
God, no! Come on, Bostic, man!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
No, no!
The Easter Bunny's been on the devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Jesus
What the hell's Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane! And now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring!
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's going to happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift!
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift! Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down from
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh, my God!
Oh,
Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh, wait! He's tuning up the bed! The devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The devil goes down! The devil goes down!
Jesus shuts the casket!
And
Back to
that's
hell! The devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
it! With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI office's souls and wins the OCW.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, July 19th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. It is an honor to be here. We can't wait for you to have the greatest weekend of your life. You know why? Because it's the next one. You know, that used to be a Chuck Pagano thing. This next game is going to be our best game. Why? Because it's our next one. This is the most important one. Why? Because it's our next one. That's how you have to view everything. And that's how this weekend's going to be. With the 152nd Open operating over there, Royal Troon, with the Brickyard 400 happening with Kyle Busch, who was in here for about 40 minutes in the first hour chit-chatting about all the NASCAR gospel. And I checked the temperature on the internet of him saying payback's coming. NASCAR world's like, the GOAT Kyle Busch talking about shit. What does payback mean? And we don't know. We shall watch this weekend. There's a lot of other stuff happening. Training camp starting for a lot of teams. Yes. So when we get back into this studio on Monday, it is going to be football heaven. It is going to be sports fantastic. It is going to be climax after climax in the sports world. And we can't wait to do it alongside everybody. The Talk Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. What is that hat? I don't think anybody...
The clock. It is a bar in South... What are you giggling at,
It's the
bucket
funny,
boy?
It's a funny hat.
It's one of the oldest bars in South Boston. I went there and I saw a hat and I was like, the clock established 1934? Yeah, I'll have one of those, please.
So Whitey Bulger used to roll around that the clock place?
Yeah, I assume Whitey. I assume a lot of the, how do you say, hitmen of Whitey were all wall hanging out there for a while, but they redid it. It's kind of a nice new bar now.
Okay, I'm from Pittsburgh, live in Indianapolis. I don't follow along as closely as I should with Boston mob conversations.
Sure.
Have seen The Departed, have watched documentaries in the entire thing. Whitey ran city, but had plugs in FBI and Boston police and in the governor's house. Is that how it's all?
His brother, I believe, was the governor of Massachusetts, so he was plugged all over. And then based off what we know from The Departed and also, I believe, Fact.
That lady was having sex with everybody. That Departed lady. I mean, Damon and Leo.
Both of them.
That's quite a bit. I mean, everybody was seemingly sharing streams with everybody in that entire thing, except for Whitey at the end. He ended up in California somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do believe he had like and he was the informant, and then that's how they busted everyone else and let him go. So they took down most of the mobs aside from the Whitey Bulger mob. Hey, look. It's a long
he got
way.
some Marshawn in him.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And Whitey made his decision.
Speaking of way, long road to the top if you want to rock and roll. Congratulations to Coach Dutch Danger of the Utah Utes. Won a national title last night. Congratulations. That's your first on 2K College Football 2025?
Yeah, season 1, 16-0 with the Utah Utes. We got the job done, beat Cade Klubnik and Clemson, took down the name, image, and likeness of Lord Jesus Christ, Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers. It was a hell of a run. I will say now, after 7 guys from the Utah Utes got drafted, hell of a draft class from the Utah Utes. I mean, that's what Dutch does, though. He sends guys to the league. You want to go to the pros? You want to make those big bucks? Come play for Dutch. And unfortunately, now the Utah Utes have lost a lot of talent, so we opened up with BC.
Well, you got to recruit.
Believe me.
That's it. The job never sleeps. You're on the clock, literally all the time. You paid $100 to do as such.
Yeah, $88.99. And but yes, there was a little bit of a drop off. Started out, I wanted to test the boys early, so most national champions they're going to open up with a cupcake at home. I said no. Boys, we're going to BC, the 10th ranked overall Eagles, and we're going to see what type of
College ranked 10th.
Yeah, hey, look, I don't understand how it works. Billy O's got those boys buzzing up there, but
I forgot about
we ended up going to BC, went to Chestnut Hill, and unfortunately, we did lose by a touchdown in overtime. Dutch's first loss.
So you guys are completely defeated.
No. We are now 3-1. We turned it around. Unfortunately, we did just do the whole entire conference realignment. Dutch had his time in the Big 12. We are now in the Big 10. So we are.
Utah's now in the Big 10 in your game.
Yeah, we have.
See, what are we?
Well, you can do custom conferences. I want titles. I want different banners. I want a resume that is unmatched. And let me tell you something. I am right on the cusp of being an elite recruiter, a Saban recruiter. And my prestige is already an A+.
Kind of painting over the Big 12 champs, no?
No, look, I'm just collecting, and who says I'm not going to go from, Utah to maybe a Bama. Who knows what happened?
Dutch Danger already has eyes on leaving Utah. Let's talk about the feeling, though, when you finally won. In what level was this on? What mode is this on?
It's on Heisman. It's in Dynasty mode. I mean, we're not really.
So this is the toughest of the tough for this particular game.
Yeah, yes, it is, and it was tough. I'm not going to say that I destroyed things in my apartment, but any empty bottles were tossed. Unfortunately, some of those bottles had spit in them, so I did have to do a little bit of a cleanup in different parts of my apartment. Yeah, some mopping, some getting on my hands and knees. Like,
got Zin spit all
over the place. Well, what am I doing? It's just a video game. But that's the thing. It's not just a video game. It's
so I assume the situation that we saw on your Twitter account came in that moment of excitement of winning the national championship when you shot your shot at a Dubai oil princess.
Yes, of course. I figured, I'm riding high. I'm a national champion now, and she unfortunately just divorced her husband. I said, hey, sup? What's going on?
And then you said, hey, you know what, Bruce?
By the way, I'm a champion. I'm not just some guy, all right? I just won a natty perfect season. Jim Harbaugh? Basically what I'm living right now. And, I am still waiting a response. Actually, let me just
see if she's seen it.
Since we're here.
Yeah, you might as well see if you got a response for the princess, your future princess.
Not seen yet. I'm sure once it gets seen, we'll get some sort of
How
response.
could she pass up the national champion like Dutch Danger, honestly?
I mean, I don't think she can. And that's why my hopes are so high. And wait till she hears about USC wouldn't stop knocking on my door last night. I kept saying, no, I can't just win in Utah and then leave. Although there has been an article released regarding Dutch Danger's his off-the-field antics. I was not aware of the scandal that was coming down the wire. Unfortunately, his name escapes me at the moment, but there was something that was published today from a very credible source.
Daniel Hinshaw.
Yeah. Look, Dutch has not come out and made an official statement yet, but I do know that he completely, unequivocally, and wholeheartedly denies these claims. I don't know for a fact.
I didn't read the entire blog about Coach Dutch Danger from Daniel Hinshaw, but what is Coach Dutch Danger being accused of? Because that thing was like 10,000 words.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate Daniel Hinshaw, blogger for NCAA 2K College Football 2025 scandals.
Yep.
He's the authority of it all. He's Pete Thamel on there. It was too many words. What did Dutch Danger do?
So Hinshaw, who works for
allegedly do.
Thank you very much. He works for Brutal Announcing, a kind of a different type of blog, and basically he said that I was promising. Coach Dutch Danger was promising lucrative NIL deals, and he would always say, hey, maybe next week when the season starts, and then those deals would never get done. And then also he mentioned a time where him and a coach went to Nevada, and he wouldn't shell out the money for a escort in a very, very legal state. And look, if I know anything about Dutch Danger, he's always paying full price. One of his mottos is, hey, you always pay the price, no matter what. And that's kind of why they were national champions. And, this is something, and we've been to Utah, this is something that doesn't sit well with the fans. And that's what Dutch is the most upset about, is that he feels as though an article like this could really taint his kind of love in Utah. And that's why, he doesn't regret not taking that USC job, but he knows that if he's running around.
You're Devontae Adams. You don't regret going to the Raiders.
No.
You're all in on the Raiders, obviously,
Exactly.
but didn't know Jordan Love was potentially going to be that good either when making decisions in this entire thing.
Yeah, I also didn't know that my quarterback was going to be like a 78 going into this season, and that
weren't you in that boy's home? How'd you not know he was?
I was in that boy's home. I didn't realize as a freshman he'd go through some of these growing pains. So we're 4 games in. We've played all 3 quarterbacks, and all 3 have won. Only one has lost.
Hey, that's saving football. That's what he did last year.
Bingo. Yeah. Look, we're not just screwing around, letting one guy ride. This is a competition team. Okay, we're trying to win national championships, and the boys know that. That's why no one has pouted and gone to the sideline. I mean, Our wide receiver number 1 is wearing number 45, so we're going to have to make some changes.
All right, well, good luck out there. We're very proud of you. Did you see how long that was?
Oh, yeah.
That tweet, Zito was scrolling it. It's like, this guy, keep going. I don't think Zito knew the length of that thing whenever he opened Show More. No. It's like, showcase all 10,000 words. Guy really investigated Dutch Danger. Hopefully he's able to scot-free out of this entire thing. Sitting in for one half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys Ton Diggs, is Bruce Brown, who, in a show of massive disrespect, a spit directly on Kyle Busch and Cheddar's face, took the Cheddar's bucket cap off as soon as he could and went back to the Yankees hat because obviously he has to show support for Aaron Judge, who got dusted by Paul Skeens in one pitch the other night. What's going on at the Open? We appreciate everything you're doing, and thank you for spitting on Kyle Busch's face.
I couldn't look at myself in that hat, and you couldn't even look at me.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't keep wearing it.
It was a beautiful hat.
There's no mirrors in here. You don't have to look at yourself.
What's going on in the Open, huh?
Everybody on the course right now is above par. That's what's going on. So everyone under par in the red figures is in the barn. Everybody out there right now is looking for birdies and probably not finding them.
So nightmare on the course for all the golfers right now.
You would have to assume.
You turn on USA Network right now, you're watching bad golf happen all over the place.
Grinding.
Love that.
We're seeing the shot tracker go this way.
Yeah.
I love that. We're seeing we're seeing a couple of these.
Yep.
We're seeing missed putts, but we're also seeing like 45-foot putts kind of falling. What a kind of hit or miss. It is a outhouse, penthouse, Royal Troon golf football that we're watching here all weekend. Joining us now from Natick, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, a man who has also been a national champion in the NCAA 2K College Football 2025, AJ Hawk.
And then
AJ, I don't know if you're here with the fresh haircut and the shaved face. We gave up on the mustache and the beard quickly, but I will say still look incredibly handsome. I want to let you know that. Did you see Dutch Danger's in some shit right now? We forgot about all the turmoil and trauma that potentially comes and follows along with head coaches making it to the top.
Yeah, I guess we do. I mean, I'm so confused by the whole situation. The fact that it sounds like Connor's played like 45 games in the last 3 days. And who was it? Like, was this an AI-generated situation where this tweet and they're writing about Connor, not paying escorts the amount they should be paid? Like, who was doing that?
That's an investigative journalist named Daniel Hinshaw. We obviously do not want to discredit.
That's a hit piece from Dirty Dan.
Yeah, he's classic journalist attacking somebody in our office. I mean, that is how it's going to go. But Coach Dutch Danger needs to understand that whenever you win, there's going to be a lot more eyes on you. I mean, you ask around. You talked about Coach Harbaugh when you were mentioning your message to the princess or whatever. Coach Harbaugh, whenever you're winning and you're dominant, there's going to be a lot more eyes. They're going to want to see you get knocked down. How will Dutch Danger bounce back? That is the question in the middle of this scandal, and hopefully you're scot clean over there.
Yeah, hopefully. All I know is the locker room is going to have coaches back,
just like Michigan.
Like Michigan, and we're
when you leave, when you go to another school, we know.
Well, TBD. Okay, look, we're focused on the next game. We're focused on Minnesota in Minnesota, and that's coming up.
That's
tonight.
tough. PJ Flex got the boys rowing all in the same direction. Joining us now is a man who doesn't row. Actually, he just swims. Put him on a boat. He says, "Turn off the engine. I'll fucking do this one."
Yep.
And the boat is actually going faster than the boat would have if it had twin turbos coming off the back, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who was voted the #1 athlete of the 21st century, guy with 23 gold medals in the pool, an absolute specimen. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Phelps.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing, dude? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm talking to the greatest athlete of the 21st century. Hey, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Now, I will say we have had a rocky relationship with this ESPN's top 100 list, top athletes of the 21st century. An impossible task to rank the top 100 athletes from every single sport. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult to do. And as it continued to go down, we got messages from people like, hey, not everybody, like this is, people doing stats and research and some journal and things like that. So I get it. As soon as we saw you were #1, I think everybody on earth was like, that makes sense. So I want to say you added some legitimacy to a list that we were kind of questioning in there. And I thought Serena was going to be so Serena too, completely understandable. When you get that, does that mean something to you whenever that's voted? In the way it was, everybody reacted to it.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question. For me, to be on a list with some of the greatest athletes of our time, right? Of our generations, right? Of everything that we've seen and some of the greatest athletes in their respected sports. So Messi, Bron, Serena, Brady, Federer, Simone Biles, White Mamba, Kobe, Katie Ledecky, Usain, Tiger. If you think these are some of the biggest sports icons on the planet. So to be voted #1, I was speechless. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm happy you're getting your love, just like you did at the Olympic trials here at Lucas Oil Stadium, And I know whenever you stop competing in a sport, any sport, there's obviously an era transition because your entire life changes and everything. So watching you get the ovation that you got at Lucas Oil Stadium from the swim community, which it was record-breaking, obviously, with how big it was, and the swim community was an awesome one. And then seeing this happen, especially a week out from the Olympics, proud of you, buddy. You've earned it all.
Thank you.
You've earned it all.
Thank you.
Can I ask you some questions now about these Olympians we're about to watch? Not them specifically, but their life and yours in particular.
Yeah.
So I just assumed because you were a teenager whenever you were at the trials and then whenever you go to the Olympics, and we pulled your first ever gold medal. It was in Athens when you were 19. It was a medley, and I believe you literally broke a world record with your first gold medal, but you had been shut out, I guess, in the previous Olympics 4 years earlier than that. You lost the one race that you were an individual. So this was your first gold medal, your first world record. At this moment, there's real joy and you lose your mind, and the commentators actually say, I've never seen him react like that. Had you dedicated your entire life for this one moment, do you feel like that is an accurate depiction of the way you spent your time throughout your childhood, teenage years, and everything?
Yeah, I think as swimmers, you always want to have this opportunity. You want to have this opportunity to represent your country and to win a gold medal. And you see that celebration right there to finish. That was my teammate, Eric Vent. USA had gone 1-2 the year before, the Olympics before in Sydney, so we wanted to continue that tradition. So he was able to sneak into the finals and then snuck in for second. And I think I was more excited for that than anything else. But, again, hearing the national anthem while there's a gold medal around your neck, it's the greatest thing that I've ever experienced, right? Being able to, to win a gold medal for your country. But, I think it's like winning a gold medal is less than 1% of 1%. So, for me to be able to go through the hard work and the dedication and what I did, not missing a single day of workout for 6 years, and then to see it pay off, you're like, hell yeah, I can do this. I can do more. What's next?
Well, I love to hear that. And it's that type of dedication and that type of mindset that separates you from, I swim in a couple pools, allegedly in a couple canals, allegedly. It's all a lie. But that mindset is what separates, from the greats to everybody else. And you said for 6 years you didn't miss a day for a workout. Is that standard operating procedure for these Olympians? Because we talk about, okay, no. All right, sweet. Okay. So you're a different animal. Go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, but so the thing is like in the sport of swimming, if you take 1 day off, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So typically people are taking Sunday off every single week. So they're not back to where they were on Saturday until Tuesday, right? So, for me, that whole entire year, 1 year, I'm getting 52 extra days. Really? So for me, that's an eternity, right? And especially if you're trying to win races by hundredths of a second, because you're going to be more prepared than that other person is, right? Like I'm sitting across from my desk here and I have a photo of me winning a race by a hundredth of a second. Right, like I did that finish 1,000 times, 5,000 times, right, 10,000 times, whatever it was. That exact finish, I practiced that in practice, right? So if I ever had that moment in a race, especially at the Olympic Games, I'm ready for it.
What, hold on, though.
Yeah, I was a psycho.
Hold on. Yes, that's what I was about to say. So, I was told, and I guess in theory they probably have stats that back it up. If I miss 1 day, it actually takes 2 days to get me back. That sounds like bullshit that some coach would say, right, to somebody to instill a work ethic. And I'm assuming you have times and stats for this entire thing. But for 6 years, you don't have a single day off. Mentally, that had to be, like, at what point do you just say, yeah, this is just what I do. I just swim all day, every day. Never? And when you were done swimming, did you think back?
I was destroying world records. Like, the goals that I had were being achieved. So I was like, all right, cool. How far can we take this? That's what I was really trying to do. I was seeing just what my level, what my max was. Where could I really take this thing and try to blow it open? So the 2004 Olympics were amazing. The 08, going 8 for 8, breaking 7 world records was awesome. 2012 was I wasn't fully engaged, but then 2016, being able to come back and finish on my terms, my way, and back on top. For me, that's all I wanted. I wanted to retire that way.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
You said 2012 you weren't fully engaged. What do you mean? Like leading up to that Olympics, did you not do the prep that you had done in the past?
Yeah, so after 2008.
Oh, yeah, you were smoking weed. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So in 2012, I basically took, after 2008, I took some time off. I wanted to kind of get away from the sport. I'd never really taken.
I wanted to sleep in on a Sunday. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. I wanted to be a kid. I think that for me, I was like, what does this feel like, right? And then, there were days there were weeks where I wasn't even showing up for practice, 2 years out from the 2012 games. So, at that point, I was kind of 1 foot on the boat, 1 foot on the dock, and 2 years out is when I really started to ramp up and try to really get fully prepared, even though it takes 4 years to get ready for an Olympics. So I kind of was like 65, 75%. So, being able to do what I did, I was pissed at myself more than anything else. I probably shouldn't have swam some of those races, but me being as stubborn as I was and wanting to win everything that I could, I wanted to.
Yeah, because when you get back in the moment, you don't think about the 2 years prior that you were kind of operating. You're like, I'm back in it. And what's the thing, the pain of regret and the pain of something? You felt that, I assume? That's why going into 16, it was a different animal? Like when you were in 2012, you felt different in the pool and you were like, this is my fault?
Without question. Like I knew that I got the results that I deserved in 2012. And that was kind of like a what if moment. Like I didn't want to look down the road 20 years and say, what if I just would have pulled my head out of my ass and done something right and done something with intention.
You're a human, bro.
That's all it was. But that's for me, like to retire from a career that you've spent your whole life to, you want to finish with a good taste in your mouth. And what I had in 2012 wasn't that. So I didn't want to walk away from the sport at that time because I still had unfinished business. So coming back in 16, being able to, win the 200 IM 4 times in a row, win the 200 fly where I got touched out in 2012 we won a couple relays, right? Like, for me, it was just a perfect way to go out. And I had my firstborn son in the audience. So him and my wife were there. And it was just, the perfect way to put the cherry on top of the cake.
Okay, let's continue that conversation. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, so Michael, talking about, going out on your own terms, you're clearly a competitive psychopath. Like, I mean, you don't get to where you're at without being that. How hard was it to actually turn it off and decide to retire, especially with some of your recent comments where I feel like you still feel like you could get in the pool and medal and dominate in these games? Like, how hard was it to actually turn it off and just be like, nope, I'm done. I'm good with where what I've accomplished?
I think in the swimming chapter of it was pretty simple because there weren't really any other goals that I had, right? Like I thought I was breaking the world record in the 200 IM in 16 and I was just short, right? Like medals for me, like winning more medals. No. I know, right? I swear I was winning the race by a body length. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know what these guys are capable of. I know the times they've gone this year. I should be smashing this world record. And I hit the wall and I remember looking up and being like, but then I realized that I had won that race in 4 straight Olympics. So like for me, like that's kind of cool. Like that's a pretty cool stat. But I think back to your question, like, retiring from the sport of swimming, it was just pretty easy. I had to find different ways to channel that competitiveness. I mean, I have a golf club sitting next to me. Like I'm a psycho golfer. So like I've kind of invested a lot of time there. But I also have 4 kids. So, there are different things that I'm trying to achieve and accomplish. And, mental health is something that I'm really trying to tackle as well. So things that I'm very passionate about, I think help me keep my mind clear and keep me just being me.
Well, also a businessman, Chili Goat Tubs is, the Goat Tubs are awesome. I see the thing. Can't wait to get one. Cannot wait to get one.
You got one. They chatted yesterday or the day before, and they are going to, I guess I just need your address now. And since you guys are right down the road from the plant, it'll be there quick.
Yes. I'm paying for it though. I want to support the biz, so that is gonna.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but
no problem.
I'd like to gift one to the Thunderdome.
All right, so I'll buy one for my house then.
If you insist.
I do.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we did it there.
Thank you.
So whenever you say, oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. I just won the same event 4 times at 4 Olympics. And then people talk about you being the greatest Olympian of all time. Like, do you know that? Do you feel that? Was there a moment where you forgot that about yourself? Like whenever you leave the sport, like legitimately? Because I think it was a conversation amongst the swimming community whenever you were coming back this year when I was there, that everybody was like pumped that you were getting like, I don't want to say back into it. I don't know if there was a little separation or if there was any of that.
There was never a separation. It's just, whenever I'm able to come to meets, I try to come to meets. And I took my family, my wife and I went to World Championships last year. I went to Olympic trials this year. I covered some. I'll be covering some with NBC over in Paris. So for me, I enjoy being around the sport. This is a sport that I'm still passionate about and I still want to grow. Australia has the biggest swimming fan base on the planet. And for me, I'd like to showcase really what we can do as a country. I was kind of weary of what was going to happen with the team, but, after seeing kind of what we've really done over the last 2 or 3 years, like kind of really making some headwaves. And obviously after Olympic trials, a couple world records, some American records, the men and women are ready to go.
Hell yeah, they are. In Australia, I guess that is, I learned quickly. Yeah. They're trying to
big time rivalry.
They're trying to get you back in the pool. They're trying to get you back in the pool, pal.
Hey, somebody wants to poke the bear.
I heard.
It'll take a lot.
What did that Aussie say about Michael Phelps? They said he couldn't swim.
The guy's washed up.
What did I forget what he said?
He said, Michael Phelps is. Really, he's kind of a second-rate swimmer. Actually, if you think about it, he's not the greatest ever. Not in my book.
That was exactly.
Somebody sent me a stat of my career against Aussies in the Olympic Games and World Championships. Go look up those numbers.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking facts.
No, yeah, we're just talking. Hey, this is history. This is a history lesson. Yep. This is not a.
Correct.
It's not a
Correct.
shit talking. I mean, this is certainly one of them here. But aside from
but also I will say by saying that I have some of my best friends in the swimming world are Australian.
Yeah.
Like Grant Hackett, Ian Thorpe are some of my closest mates who I still talk to regularly, right? So, like, when we're in the pool, yeah, we want to literally beat the living crap out of you. Like, we don't care where you're from. Like, we want to win, period. But out of the pool, we are friends. Like, there's no harshness between us. Like, it is, competition is competition, right?
Yeah, but we're not losing to the Aussies.
We're not losing.
I agree, especially with that lady I saw on the news where she said, you hear that national anthem and you want to puke. It's like, lady, whoa, you need to slow it down.
You take a shot at our national anthem, that's problems.
Concur. That's kind of...
We got problems.
We can't wait for next week. But you talk about the team and how it's built. We got some mainstays. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, in the backstroke, Michael, it's usually death taxes Ryan Murphy. He's 29 now. Can we lock him in winning in the backstroke at plus 160?
I mean, there are a couple. I haven't seen any lines. I saw some of trials that I thought you could hammer. Are you talking in the 100 or the 200 back? Sorry, I know too much about this.
Whichever one you tell us, 100 or the 200. Murphy's huge. That dude is he is a barn.
Backstrokers are big units. I mean, they are massive, 6-pack. There's not an ounce of fat. I mean, that's one of the hardest races, I think, to swim long course, just because it's so taxing on your legs, especially because you're spending so much time underneath the water. And if you look at what Murphy does, that's his specialty. I do like Murph's chances. I know what he's gone through over the last year or two, really to get himself ready for this last one. I think he's got a great shot. Ledecky, I don't know what the odds are in the 800. That's probably another one that she'll win.
How about the minus 20,000 one for the mile swim for her? How about that? That seems like a good bet.
Bro. Yeah, if you want to lay $1 million, go ahead.
Connor's got a question for you, Phelps.
Yeah, Phelps, in between your, races, what are you doing? And then also, what kind of game are you sharing with the swimmers now? Like, are you giving them the recipe? Like, hey, I did this, this, and this at this time and this time, so that they kind of have, like, not the blessing from Michael Phelps, but kind of the recipe for a gold medal?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple athletes on the team that do reach out. My number is open to the team, has been ever since I retired. I'd like to help them accomplish whatever goals and dreams they want to accomplish. So a couple of them have kind of chimed into me asking about like the mental approach of it and really kind of what to really think. What are you going to experience through these next couple of weeks, right? Because you go through the Olympic trials, which is so difficult, and it's almost harder than the Olympic Games. You have 2,500 people that are swimming for 2 spots, right? So then you get to the Olympics, and the Olympic Games is the same exact thing as every other meet, right? It's just the Olympic Games. The pool is the same, the temperature is the same, the lights are the same. That's it. So I try to help people just talk through whatever whatever they're worried about, whatever they're nervous about, because they've done the preparation to get to that point, right? It's because at that point, it's just kind of let me out of that cage and let me go.
Okay, and there's some people in like our sport that show up when the lights are the brightest, and then there's some people, obviously, they're a little bit different. At Lucas Oil, that was a lot of what the conversation I was having with Mr. Sockwell and the entire USA swimming team. It's like, this is the biggest crowd that all of the most, like, obviously it's a world record, but like some of these people have not swam in front of a group of people like this ever before. So they were like intrigued to see how they handled it. And I didn't even think about swimming having to handle that because it's all timing, right? So like all you got to do is just accidentally one time and then it's all ruined. 4 years worth of work is worth nothing. Like, is that the mindset of it going in?
I mean, you got one chance every 4 years.
So what a nightmare.
Right?
You Olympians are insane. No. It's just like no chance to get back. Nathan Chen, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nathan Chen, a couple Winter Olympics ago. 2 Winter Olympics ago. I learned, and we are obnoxious about and thank you for everything you provided us.
Yeah. Awesome.
We were able to talk shit so much because it was so much fun. It was all in prime time and the way it all went. But Nathan Chen, I learned about this guy on like a news thing. They did his entire special. And I was like, we got the guy. So literally led the show. I'm like, figure skating. Sorry about it. It's our sport. This guy's going to be here for the next 10 years. And then literally did perfect and then slipped and fell. Over.
Yeah.
Failure. This guy sucks. This guy wasted his entire life doing this because just lost a blade in the middle of a.
The crazy thing is like, what if you're like, what if you don't get the right warm up? What if your routine is off? Like,
what if you didn't sleep well? What if you didn't sleep well the night before?
Right, without question. Like when I was in Sydney, my very first Olympics, I took the wrong credential. I took my roommate's credential by accident and went to the pool. And then I couldn't get back into the village because I had his credential. I was 15 years old. I'm like, oh shit, this sucks. So I ended up being like 10 minutes off of my normal routine. And sometimes that's all it takes to kind of flip the switch on somebody.
Yeah, I couldn't even fathom just waking up. I don't feel good today.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it doesn't matter because you've worked for 14 years for today. So go ahead.
I had that feeling before this race, that photo I was talking about before, that I won by 100th of a second in 2008. After I won the 200 IM, I literally said to Bob, I said, I got nothing left. And he looked at me and he said, too fucking bad. You got one more race. Let's go.
Hey, that's a you problem, buddy.
Yeah.
That is.
I was like, okay, let's go. We got one more race. No problem. I'll get hyped for it. And at that point, we had Cobes, we had Braun, we had, President up in the stands. And I'm like, I'm going. I'm not losing this race.
Oh, yeah. I remember the whole scene with the Wolverines on there were coming through. Where it was they had a camera on. The Phelps show is about to begin in about 13 minutes or so. As you see right now, he is taking his massive wingspan and smacking it like he's a fucking dinosaur from before the, the big boom or whatever the hell. I mean, it was awesome. You were a show. You were great for our country. Happy to hear that you were able to pull. I do like the fact that Bob was just references Bob. Do I know who Bob is?
Bob is my coach, Bob Bowman. He was my coach for 22, 23 years.
Still coaching?
He is. He just took the head coaching job at University of Texas. He won the national championship here at ASU last year, and then just got offered the Texas role. And that's a big opportunity. Their setup down there is second to none. I broke my first world record in that swimming pool. So a lot of cool history, and they got a bunch of studs coming in there and a bunch of people transferring in.
He's training some of the Olympians, right? Because that was like a couple of the conversation was like Phelps' coaches with that guy. Phelps' is coaching with that guy. That's like a part of the whole thing now.
Yeah. So one of I think the part that you're referring to is one of his swimmers broke my last individual world record. That was a big thing. He's a French swimmer. I swam with his dad back in the day. So it's kind of a cool story. And honestly, I knew that records are, they're not going to last forever. For me, I wanted one more thing. I wanted my record to be the longest standing individual swimming world record on the planet. And it was. So I held it for, I think it's like 21 years.
There you go.
So that was something that was super special to me. And I'm excited to watch him this summer. Leon Marchand, he's probably going to win the 400 IM, and to be able to do it on your home country's soil, I think is really special.
The place will go bananas. It'll smell so terrible in there.
Brutal.
It'll be, because there's no real. I don't think they do deodorant or anything.
No, they don't.
And they'll be so excited to be inside the pool. I mean, the chlorine smell, I guess, helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a lot of chlorine smell.
All right, go ahead, AJ.
Speaking of that, Michael, I know you focus on the swimmers that are swimming in the pool, and that's generally what you did. Are you excited to get over to France and check out the river, the Seine? I believe that they're trying to figure it out. Do you have any idea if they're going to be able to use this for the Olympics, and if not, where are these swimmers going to go?
It's. I would assume they have a backup plan. I know they've spent a ton of money trying. I would assume there has to be some other like small body of water, like a pond or a lake, that they could use, because they've had issues in the past with temperature of the water being too high, and they've had to relocate just on a whim. So I would hope to see them to be able to swim down the Seine. I think that would be iconic. Yes, there is a lot of history of it being extremely dirty. And again, I think they spent over $1 billion to try to figure a way to clean it up. I know with the opening ceremonies coming down the Seine, that's going to be an iconic view, especially with all those massive, God, I can't even think of it. I can, but I'm not blanking on the word. The Eiffel Tower and all these different.
Oh, the Arc de Triomphe.
Champs-Élysées.
Yeah, and the red light district, I think, is over there.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, all that stuff. Obviously not. We're all too old, but you're talking about just historic places around Paris. You're going to be part of the coverage. When is the swimming? Is it middle? When is the swimming on the Olympics? Do you know?
First week.
First week.
Let's go.
Yeah, I leave on Wednesday and fly over. And I think I'm on air basically the next day. So it'll be a jam-filled schedule. I'm excited. I'll be excited just to watch some of the guys, but reconnect with some other past Olympians.
And Rowdy on the call is obviously always fantastic. Hearing you chit-chat and decipher what's taking place potentially in between the ears of these swimmers underneath those incredibly tight.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave me 2 of those caps so tight. I mean, like, incredibly uncomfortable. How about those costumes you guys were wearing there for a little bit? Those long,
full body.
They were like almost like a girdle. I mean, they were so tight, dude. They would suck everything in. And they were a lot more buoyant. That's really just what it was.
And what was it about you?
Caps, I used to wear. Go ahead.
What was it about you? You had longer arms, and you have like naturally webbed feet, and like webbed.
I don't have webbed feet or hands, guys. My wingspan's 6'7", and I'm 6'4". That's it.
No, I heard you had fish hands.
Webbed feet like platypus.
You're like a mermaid. I heard. Yeah, but you've changed that since retiring.
Nothing.
Yeah, you cut them out.
You just get rid of it.
So all that shit was a lie? All that stuff was a lie whenever they were...
Everyone's just trying to make shit up.
Well, I hate that. I mean, because
he's too good. He's too good. He must have webbed feet. That's what they thought. Hey, this guy's winning too much. He's got to have something going on.
Yeah, they thought you...
I once got asked if I felt bad for winning all those medals. I looked at the reporter and started laughing.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
23. Fucking no.
23 golds. Yeah, I didn't take it. You know when people were like sleep in on Sunday or something?
Yeah, that wasn't me. I was in the water at 7.
6 years straight. So do I feel bad? No. Should you? Because you have nowhere near that work ethic? Yes. Get out of my face. All right. We appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Have a great Olympics. Guys. Thank you for always answering the cold calls, too. That's very nice.
Always. Hey, and thank you guys for doing what you guys do. I spend a lot of time watching you guys when I'm in the weight room. So you guys are always keeping it real, always making me laugh. And I love what you do. Keep being you.
We appreciate that. Do you swim ever anymore?
Only if my head really is in a dark place.
Really?
It's the only place where I can just be, right? Like I don't have to think or do anything.
So if you were to get back into an Olympic race, or let's say there was like celebrity races or something in the swimming, let's say swimming gets into, what race would be the race that you would be able to get back in and be the best at?
So it's kind of funny you say that. So watching the Olympic trials, my son said, my 4-year-old Maverick says, "Daddy, do you think you could still get in the water and compete with these guys?"
Yes.
And I said, "Bud," I said, "if I wanted to, yes, I could." And I said, "I think I could still win." I said, "But that also means that you're not going to see Daddy very often, right? You're not going to be able to spend time with me when you come home from school." And he's like, "I don't want that." And I was like, "I don't want that either." So that was the end of the conversation for us.
Okay.
For me, yes, could I? I think it would take 4 years to do.
What's your event,
really
though?
do. I think I could win the 200 IM. Like I think some of those times aren't like they're going like I was going faster 8 years ago than most of the world's going now. So I still think if I focused on one event, yeah, I think I could get the job done.
All right. Well, you always have that in the back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
So like when Maverick turns 20 or something, 16 years from now, there's
get in the pool.
50.
All right,
let's do it.
Yeah.
It'll be like me. It'll be like Bronny and his son just hooping together. It'll be like me and Mavi just going at it.
Bingo.
Right?
And you got to put your webs back on.
Yep.
You got to do the whole thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 23-time gold medalist, #1 athlete of the 21st century, Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude, man.
Legend.
I don't know how I genuinely have no idea how we linked up. Just started happening. It was really cool. I think I got a DM one time, and I was like, I think Phelps just sent me a DM.
He legit answers every single time you call him. It's awesome. It's awesome.
He's like, if we text too, like I'll send it. I'll see something on TV that I won't know, like it'll be like an Olympic question. Like for instance, the sex in the village and everything.
Yeah.
Like I've never been in the Olympic, and they got these new beds where you can't be boning on.
Yeah, cardboard beds
on purpose.
Yeah, can't be boning. So like I'm not asking him directly about that, but I'm like, hey, how much of the stuff that I'm hearing about Olympic Village, like he's like the person I literally just send a text to and ask, and then one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden we're just, let's just FaceTime Phelps, and let's just see how it is. He's awesome though. Like every morning he is still getting after it. Like I think he talked about that mental health stuff. He wants to help people a lot. Like that is a part of his thing, and I could imagine he's making good money giving speeches to corporations and other stuff like that, AJ. You'd want to hear Phelps talk about drive, work ethic, team, everything. That seems right in the world of him.
Yeah, I heard him speak on at a charity golf thing years ago somewhere, and he was talking. The event got rained out, and it turned into Michael Phelps' speaking gig for everybody there, and he was going back and forth telling stories, and people were peppering him with questions. Like it was very entertaining to sit there and listen to.
So he at least has 23 stories. Right?
Yeah.
Because speakers will have like a gold medal story. Hey, here's my gold medal story. He's got 23 of those. That's just in the bank. That is just right in the back pocket. I remember in Athens, I was 19, and then you could go into an entire, and that was when I won my first gold medal. And obviously, I would win a few more. Big pop from the crowd.
Got the adversity too, and then coming back and winning at 31. Like I don't think anybody will win in their 30s ever again.
Murphy 29, I believe, is what I heard from your question.
It's his last go.
You're a swim guy, right?
I grew up swimming.
Yeah.
Looking up to Michael Phelps. I used to blast Eye of the Tiger and work kids in the 50-meter freestyle until I was like 13.
Boom.
I was working kids.
Yeah, you're not turning around though. That's 50s straight down, right?
The pool was 25, so it's down.
Oh, you had a turn.
Nice flip turn, Bruce. Get a good flip turn.
I would rope a dope everybody and not kick on the way down, hit my turn, and then kick back and touch everybody out. So everyone's like, "Oh, I got him." And then no, you don't.
Oh, so you were an electro. You were bringing a show.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah,
The pizzazz in the pool.
And then it's like, oh, we need a point. You got to go swim the 400-meter IM, and you're just flopping there like a friggin' seal. Just clocking a time because then you get points in the meter or whatever. It's a pretty grueling sport, but then that opens up water polo, which is an awesome sport.
200, yeah, absolutely awesome sport. I can never do it, obviously, because I can't float. That would be difficult. And they battle underwater. And the amount of grabbing, mean, that sport is a little bit intense while they're floating around. Him saying, I think I can still win the 200 IM. That's all of them, right? That's all the...
Yeah, IM is like
the medley,
50 down.
That's all of the swim strokes.
Yep.
Hey, which one do you think? What's the easiest one for you to come back and when he goes, the whole
one that's all of
the
them.
one that is the best swimmer.
Yeah.
That is one down, one back, one, and then we close this thing with a freestyle. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yep.
I could win if I had to.
And like the transitions are really hard because if you like do a little bit of breaststroke when you're supposed to be doing butterfly, you're DQ'd.
And then there's a little ball. That's when you got to get up out of the water. So there's like a red and white is the barricade, lane, alley, whatever it is. Then there's like an orange ball that's stuck in there because those are all little tiny floating balls. The orange one is when they're supposed to be back up above the water. And I guess like if you're after DQ'd, but if you're too early, slow. So it's like hitting that point is like a perfection
butterfly.
thing.
That's massive.
Yeah, when he was talking about the turn or the finish, like I did that 1,000 times. Like you're talking about like just, I can separate my shoulder better than anybody else to read.
Yeah.
Joining us
and
now.
you know how to time up your strokes, too. That's another thing.
Perfectly. I think I could win the one where you have to do all of the swimming.
He'd be 43. He said 4 years.
He's America's, baby.
Yeah, but we need Mav to get a little older and get sick of his dad.
Yep.
You know, like what were those teenage years is whenever I guess it gets a little Maverick gonna be an outlaw. Maybe that's when Phelps gets back in the pool. I do appreciate him saying like, yeah, when I'm in a bad head spot, I need to get in the pool. Think about what he does to that water.
Oh man.
You think he runs a clock too, just to see where he's at?
Probably.
When he gets in there? I think he probably has to. That's probably what
he's not swimming recreationally. He's not going in there and just jerking around. He's
recreationally though there for those 2 years.
Well, he was. Quite a bit.
Recreational plans.
Hell yeah.
Brought that up. Remember they tried to kill him?
Oh yeah, big time.
Murdering him.
Michael Phelps, he's smoking weed. It's
treated him like Lochte.
He just won 20 gold medals. Maybe let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Not my gold medalist smoking off a water pipe. No way. No way.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who I'm not sure if he's ever smoked marijuana from a bong before. I know he hasn't won a single gold medal, but damn, this guy can write about the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Pro Football Talk, author of Father of Mine and Son of Mine, available September 3rd, but pre-sale order available now at Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, Paisan Mike Florio.
Yeah, Florio!
Hey. No gold medals or silver or bronze, and no comment as to the first part of your question.
You smoking dope? Okay.
Italian son of
In West Virginia, I mean, there's an opportunity potentially to, pass a peace pipe around, maybe add a little water in there, do the entire thing, see from an elevated point of view. Certainly eating the edibles. Your generation is like, I don't smoke weed. No. They do have these fun little
candy
gummies. Little gummies. It just makes like my arthritis feel better. I'm in a better mood. I sleep a little better. I'm laughing a little. Does make me hungry a little bit. I was like, you high as shit. No. I'm just eating these little gummies. They take this little teddy bear. I mean, it was really.
Good.
Best nap I've had in you. That's your generation, Florio, and we love that. We appreciate that. Let's move into what you talk about every day, football. Everybody's reporting back to training camp. We talked to Lombardi yesterday, and he was, hey, this is where all these contract conversations come to a head. There's a lot of them potentially taking place. I'm sure there's some that we haven't even heard about. What is your big story as we enter everybody entering training camp, Florio?
Well, look, we're getting more and more of these rookies signed. J.J. McCarthy this morning, according to Shefty. There's just a couple of first-rounders left that need to sign. But I'm watching to see who holds out. We had an item a few weeks back looking at all the veteran players that potentially will say, I'm not coming. I'm not going to do the hold in and not practice. I'm just not showing up. And the two guys I'm really watching, three, although I think Jordan Love is going to get his deal from the Green Bay Packers. Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. And I just can't help but wonder what Matthew Stafford's going to do if he doesn't get the new contract he's been trying to get for months now. And they keep saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. If he doesn't get it, would he really take a stand and not show up? I don't think it's in his DNA, but sometimes you have to take that stand to get what you deserve. And when Jared Goff got to $53 million a year, and he's the guy that they basically gave up a first-round pick to get rid of when they traded for Stafford, and he's at 40, he's clearly due for an adjustment.
Won a Super Bowl. Aaron Donald obviously no longer there. Him and Puka are obviously a beautiful connection. Cooper Kupp's going to be all the way back healthy. They think they revamped the offensive line. I think Stafford was a little banged up maybe last year, but they're looking to have a successful year. But I think this Matthew Stafford chatter, I haven't heard much about it until the last couple of days. This has been a very real thing that's been taking place, Mike, from what you've been hearing?
Here's what happened. There was some talk going into the draft that maybe in round one, the Rams would emerge with a quarterback, which obviously would change everything. When they didn't draft a quarterback, it was boom, right after that. Rappaport's reporting that Stafford isn't happy with his contract. He wants guaranteed money beyond this year because he knew that they were kind of in a year-to-year arrangement with him, and he doesn't want that. He wants security. And it became a thing for a little while right after the draft. Sean McVay talked about it a couple of times. I got the impression that they realized, hey, we're not going to go year-to-year with Matthew Stafford. We're going to give him a commitment beyond this season. It hasn't happened yet. Now, it's a deadline-driven league, and maybe it happens just as they're getting ready to go to camp. But if it doesn't, does Stafford say, hey, look, guys, I've made this clear what I want. We know what the market is. Are you going to do it? I'd like to think they'll get it done before camp opens. The bigger one is Tua, because I just don't think there's going to be a gap. Well, there is a gap. There's going to be a bridge for the gap between what Tua wants and what the Dolphins are willing to pay. And what will he do? Will he hold out if he doesn't get the contract he wants?
The quarterback contracts are always certainly a massive piece of a team conversation, of an NFL conversation, because are people going to re-break the record? Is it going to continue to go up? What's the percentage of the salary cap? Then we got more stats on if that team's going to be a chance to win the Super Bowl or not with how much they're paying. And it's like Tua, you got a guy who's had success, you're going to have to pay him. What are you going to pay him, though? Are you going to pay him... Are you going to go? Are you going to really go? And if you don't go, is that automatic drama that's going to get started? It's a weird thing when a quarterback's contract is up and you have to do it, especially in 2024 with the amount of money that is available both to teams as a whole and a quarterback position by itself. I hope Tua gets paid down there. I hope they continue to do their thing. McDaniel's obviously awesome. Tua, his entire story is awesome. Tyreek could potentially get 2,000 yards. I don't know how many kids he's going to have by the end of the season, allegedly. This guy is wide open, Tyreek Hill, but he's going to go down as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. You would want to keep the quarterback with him, you would assume. How much will they go? But how about another quarterback potential? Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Florio, what's going on with the Cowboys and Dak? Is that even a conversation at this point, or is the plan just to finish out this season and then see if Dak will, re-sign? Because obviously part of his deal is that he can't be franchise tagged after this year.
Well, Stephen Jones was on the Scoop City podcast with Diana Rossini and Chase Daniel. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but my understanding is from some of the quotes I saw that he created the impression they're talking. Now, I don't know what there is to talk about at this point. Everybody knows the situation. He's got a gigantic cap number this year. They have no way to keep him from becoming a free agent after the season. That's an incredible amount of leverage for the player because he can say, I'll just go to the market. And we'll see what the market will bear for me, and maybe I'll leave if somebody offers me a lot more than you're willing to pay. I think the Cowboys would like to find a way to get it done. They just don't want to pay Dak what he wants. And his leverage comes from those cap numbers, from that contract that gives them no way to hold him in place. It's like $55.4 million cap charge this year. And if he leaves, they're going to carry $54.5 million in his name next year. So he really has them in a corner, and he hasn't given up. And you know what? He's doing to Jerry Jones exactly what Jerry Jones would be doing to him or anybody else. He's taken full advantage of the situation. And good for Dak Prescott, because I think the Cowboys are accustomed to a lot of the guys eventually giving in and saying, hey, I want to stay here. I want to do what's right for the team. Dak's doing what's right for him, and they may not get it done this year.
The conversation around CeeDee Lamb is also a very real one, certainly with a lot of other players around the league, which we will continue to chat about with our friend Mike Florio as we roll on and continue on YouTube, ESPN+, TikTok, and X. We hope you have an incredible weekend. The Open should be a blast. Obviously, the race at the Brickyard this weekend with our friend Kyle Busch. And NFL teams are rolling into training camp. It is a wonderful time to be alive. We're incredibly lucky to be here. It's been a fun week back. We can't wait to see you on the greatest Monday of all time. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Have the greatest weekend ever. Cheers. Right on the screws there, Florio. Right on the screws. I started a little early, but right on the screws. We are still very live on YouTube and everywhere else, as you heard in my exit there, but we just signed off ESPN and ESPN2. There was a chance we were also going to go 2 to 3 and do SportsCenter from here, and we had a full SportsCenter ready because of that the software glitch that took over Banks Plains and all of, I think, a lot of production studios that took place today. Florio, did you learn anything about that? What a wild morning. Everybody was shut down. They said like 1 billion computers were like locked up this morning, allegedly.
All I know is it's not any type of cyber terrorism. No, it's not. It's not. It's just an isolated situation. We know exactly what it is, and we're going to fix it.
Okay, all right.
No,
don't you tell? I got to. It's a Feel Good Friday.
Tell him, Mike. Tell him, Mike.
No, it's a Feel Good Friday. Florio, jeez, Louise.
It's not like anything happened last night where anything would happen.
Okay, jeez, Louise.
Tell him, Mike.
It was a software upgrade that had a glitch in it that shut down everything for hours and hours and hours in the most important parts of our society. The banks, the travel, and, TV stuff. So just know it was a software. They got it all handled, though. SportsCenter will be running too, but we were prepared. Go ahead, AJ.
It was Y2K. It was just 24 years later.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
AJ, your question for Paisano.
Mike, how does everything play out in San Francisco with the Ayuk situation? Is anything going to happen? Is he going to play for him this year? Like, how do you see that going?
You know, it's funny. He'd been very compliant. He hadn't asked to be traded. There was a time before the draft where, as they were haggling over what he is worth, his agent was given permission to see if other teams would pay him what he was looking for. And at the time, it was $28 million a year. It's probably higher than that now because the market's changed. I'm told there were 5 teams that were ready to go and give him what he wanted, what the 49ers wouldn't give him. But they couldn't work out a deal with the 49ers for a trade. And, from the 49ers perspective, this is where it gets a little screwy. You've got 5 other teams that were willing to pay him what he wants and give you something to get him. Why won't you just pay him what he wants? So he's taken the stand now. He's asked to be traded. We'll see if he shows up for camp. But one thing about the 49ers, we've seen guys, you got to be the squeaky wheel to get paid. You got to be Deebo Samuel, demand to be traded for weeks, and you get paid. Nick Bosa, hold out until right before the start of the season. You get paid. I think Ayuk is shifting into, I'm done being a nice guy here because that didn't give me anything. I'm going to start agitating to either get the contract I deserve or get traded to a team that'll pay me. I think one thing we can all agree on, $14.1 million is criminally low for a guy who was a second-team All-Pro, second in the league in yards per target. He had 1,300-plus receiving yards on only 105 targets last year. Imagine what he could do if he was getting the ball thrown his way 180 times like CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and Florio, 81% of his catches were either for a first down or a touchdown. I mean, so it's just like very important catches as well. So not only like distance, time, able to create space, seemingly a perfect fit for Brock Purdy. And Purdy's a dog. All these highlights showcasing Ayuk showcases even more that Brock Purdy is also criminally underrated and underpaid in this entire thing. But this time with this rookie quarterback is when you can spend money everywhere. San Fran has seemingly already done that. You talked about this guy. You just rattled through a couple guys that held out and had some things. San Fran's paid a lot of people. You don't think they're just waiting to see if Pearsall is a guy and then they can let Ayuk hit the market? What do you think they ultimately end up doing here?
I think what they would have liked to have done is hold everyone in place for one more year. Because next year they got to pay Brock Purdy. Next year it's probably goodbye to Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. Maybe Trent Williams moves on after this year. They wanted to hold this nucleus together and give it one more run at trying to get that Super Bowl win that they've been unable to get under Kyle Shanahan. And as long as Ayuk's willing to take $14.1 million per year, or for this year, then it works. But when he says, no, wait a minute, 14-1, no, the market's 35 now. I'm not taking 14-1. I want my contract now. That's what's keeping it from happening. And I think at some point, they need to consider, and I don't know that they'll do this, but there was some chatter before the draft about the Steelers maybe trading for Deebo. At some point, maybe if you're the 49ers, you say, okay, Ayuk's forcing us to make our choice now. Maybe we trade Deebo and pay Ayuk. I wouldn't rule that out as a possibility because it was a possibility before the draft. Maybe it's something that could still happen.
That would be such a Niners move that we have drama with this guy, not with this guy. But we do have to make a play here, so we'll get rid of and then we'll bring in, just like they had Jimmy G. We bring it up. They had Jimmy G on a different field in training camp. They celebrated the Jimmy G era being over. Like they even ran a clip, everything, it's over. And then he ends up back playing meaningful minutes. It's like they have an ability to deal with the drama somehow over there in San Fran. Every good team's going to have to do that. Speaking of teams that aren't good but want to become good, we're learning a lot about. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Florio, going off the Ayuk situation, we kind of got something a little bit similar with the Giants and the Hard Knocks clips we've seen about, them not wanting to deal kind of with the public backlash of the Saquon Barkley situation. When you look at all those clips that are coming out from the Giants, is it kind of inevitable that we're looking at them just kind of blowing everything up at the end of this season, Shane being gone, Dable, and obviously Daniel Jones? Or how do you kind of parse through everything that we're seeing on there?
Somebody asked me earlier today if it looks like the Giants handled Saquon and his contract properly. And my position is we won't know until we see what he does this year with the Eagles. If he tears it up, if he has 2,000 yards from scrimmage, if the Eagles get to the Super Bowl and win it, and he's a key piece, then the Giants are going to get killed for this. If he doesn't perform, if he doesn't earn that contract he got from the Eagles, then the Giants look good. So I think a lot of it comes down to how the Giants perform this year and how Saquon and the Eagles perform. It's just another factor for them to worry about as they get through this season. And I think it could go very badly for Brian Daboll, for Joe Shane. You've got Bill Belichick lurking out there. There's talk of the Cowboys and the Eagles being the top two teams. Well, if I'm the Giants, let me get in on this too, because the Giants are the one team of the three that he'd most prefer to coach, I believe, based on things we've heard in the past and his history with the Giants, 2 Super Bowl wins as a defensive coordinator there. So I think it could go sideways for the Giants. And all this stuff that's being put out there for us to consume and evaluate and talk about, that's not good for the Giants. This Hard Knocks off season is great for us.
Great.
I don't think it's good for the Giants to have all this stuff out there.
Hey, this is like that Tom Brady roast, I think, Florio. I think the Tom Brady roast was so good, you're never going to get anybody that's at Tom Brady level to agree to do it. I think it's going to be a while. I think it's going to be another generation. Somebody's going to not be told what happened with Tom Brady. Somebody's going to forget what happened with Tom Brady. They'll sign up for it, and then it's just like, for us, great. Yeah. It is absolutely great. This Hard Knocks, I think it's going to be a tough sell to teams for the offseason going forward. Legitimate. I absolutely love it. But, man, we're seeing a lot. We are seeing a lot of stuff in there. And you got to think a lot of teams are looking around like, do we want our brainstorm idea, opinions when we're trying to figure out what we want to do out there? Because we kind of look like we got no real idea what the fuck we're doing. There is some of those situations, but is that just a common conversation that's taking place during the season because they're trying to get to the right direction? It's like this is our first time seeing it, so I have no idea, but I think it's going to be tough to get people to sign up for this in the future.
There's no gain for the team that's doing it. You can only lose. And think about it. The episodes are coming out during the month. Look, they're coming out during the month when you otherwise would be relaxing and resting and away from everything. So instead, they got to deal with all the scrutiny and the blowback. You're criticizing players. You're just letting things out there that every team deals with that we otherwise don't have access to. It makes no sense for the Giants to do this. But you know what? People are watching it. It's doing well. HBO is going to want it. The NFL is going to want it. So they're just going to Every year, they're going to tap somebody on the shoulder and say, you get the short straw this year. And the owners collectively are in for that. They don't want to do it individually, but collectively they want the money that comes from it.
It's been great. Like, NFL Films is hitting home runs here. Like, this one is a absolute home run. Every episode I'm like excited to watch.
The draft coming up on there too. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, all those draft conversations.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. They're going to look awful.
Because we've seen a couple of them, right? Because like social media will be like, got to hang with the tiger today, you know, and they'll like do that entire thing. But these ones are like PTZ in the corner. Nobody has a clue. And the NFL Films people are like, should we? Like, well, this is the show?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Zoom in.
This is the show.
They signed up for it.
Let's go ahead and do this entire thing. It's awesome. Hey, Son of Mine, I can't wait to read it. Now, obviously, you know I'm probably not going to do that. It'll be the audio book, if anything. I'm not a big book guy, but I will support the shit out of you. What is Son of Mine? It's a sequel to Father of Mine, and congratulations on another book.
Hey, Mike.
Thank you. Father of Mine is a mob novel that was set in 1973 in Wheeling, West Virginia, about an hour from where you grew up. We basically are Western Pennsylvania. When Mason and Dixon were going across, they didn't go all the way to the Ohio River. If they would have made it to the Ohio River, I would have been from Pennsylvania just like you, Pat.
Amen.
But I digress. There was a very strong mob presence in the 70s in Wheeling. My dad was connected to it. He was a bookie working with that mob, so I saw a lot of stuff. So I wrote Father of Mine. And when I finished it, I thought, there's more to be told about this story. So, Son of Mine, the sequel, it's set in 73 and 75, some in Arizona, some in Wheeling. And I like it better than the first one. I wasn't sure about the first one. I'm sure about this one. This one's good. But you got to read the first one before you can get to the second one. Check. And actually, the second one can stand alone. If you want to skip over the first one, you can still read
that last one is the sell. That last one is
But the first one still ended up being good. It still ended up being good. I just didn't really know what to think of it. This one, I am very confident, which probably means it's going to suck, but I'm very confident.
You're writing all day, huh? You just love it. Because Pro Football Talk is obviously writing about stuff on your blog, sending, and then now you're writing books and novels. Like, you just...
Here's what happened.
Yeah, go
Here's
ahead.
what happened. You know the whole Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours thing? That over the past 24 years, I did the math. I have written more than 20 million words at PFT. But everything I write today, by tomorrow, who cares? Dance for me today. I don't care about what you did yesterday. I want more today. By the next day, nobody cares. It's like all these words just disappear. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to start writing something that maybe survives more than 24 hours. And what I've learned is, after 20 million words at PFT, I go down to my bar and I light a cigar, have a little drink.
What?
I can write like 2,500 words in 2 hours. So I'll go down there, I'll take a couple hours at night, go down there, boom, and keep it going and keep it going. I don't know if it's any good. The quantity is definitely there. My wife said maybe you should be concerned about quality at some point, but the quantity is definitely there. I got like 10 of these things floating around, and we're getting them out to market one at a time.
Congratulations.
All right, Mike.
Thank you, guys.
You should be very proud of yourself. An Italian from Wheeling, figuring it all out, taking over the football world, now going to take over the New York Times, and the amount of grazie and prego that you got out there is only going to...
Listen, I got a good one. I got a good one that's in the hopper now, and we're trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm working with my agent on this. It's about football. It's about the NFL, but not the NFL, so they can't sue me.
Smart.
The mob and gambling. And it envisions all the shit that might happen if the NFL doesn't wake up.
That's Florio football right there.
Mike.
Don't do it, Mike. We don't need that shit. Okay, we don't.
I want him to read it and say, "This guy knows something about it. We better listen to him before it blows up."
Yeah, but what we don't need is you putting out into the world something that's probably going to end up happening, so you could say, "I told you so," and we're fucked.
I want to. Well, that wouldn't be bad, but I'd rather.
Okay.
What the hell?
All right. Hey,
just like the Sunday ticket case, you didn't believe. You didn't believe in the Sunday ticket case until that verdict came in. You're like, "Oh, that fucking idiot might know a thing."
Yeah, I do appreciate your first responses. I thought maybe I brought up some credibility over the last 20 years or so, but because I told her, I said, Florio, I thought this was a Florio special.
Sure.
Off season.
Mixing it up.
Oh my God, we're going to get to the Supreme Court. Oh my God, Florio. Oh, I could find an angle to get the NFL to the Supreme Court. This is it. And lo and behold,
it's coming.
Couple weeks later.
$14.1 billion. It's coming one way or the other. It's going to the Supreme Court.
What's the next steps?
With that much money involved, it's unavoidable.
What's the next steps for that entire thing?
July 31, they go back to court. The NFL wants the judge to throw the verdict out or reduce it to $1. Remember the USFL case from 1986, $1.
Small potatoes.
And they think they got something. They think they got an argument. I'm going to write about it at PFT. Basically, the NFL says, hey, the jury just kind of made up its own number. We can't just make up your number. You can't just pull up your iPhone calculator and make up your number. And the response is, we put in evidence of $7 billion. And it happens all the time that the jury comes up with something less than that. They compromise with each other. That's one of the risks of letting a case go to a jury. So they had evidence for $7 billion. If it would have been a college football model where all the games are on TV and you don't have to pay any extra for it, $7 billion would have been avoided by the people who bought Sunday Ticket. The final number was 4.7. That's good enough. That's the key. And again, it gets multiplied by 3 to 14.1. But the judge is going to have a hearing on the 31st. We'll get a ruling from him 5, 6, 7, who knows how many weeks after that, and then the appeal process starts.
I do love that the triplet, which is the law, you got to dunk on people that you knew the law, because there's a lot of people going, Florio's just saying triplet? Okay. What are we at a casino? We got a 3X boost? What is this entire thing? And you got to know, it's the law, bub. How about that? Like, I did see you flexing a little bit, your lawyer pipes, which we obviously appreciate as well. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, Florio.
Well, hopefully more often than not. And hopefully when Big Shield, that's the title of the gambling book, when that comes out,
The Big Shield,
and it paints an alternate universe where the NFL realizes, hey, we better listen to this guy. We better put these safeguards in place so we don't have something that would be even worse than the Tim Donaghy scam. Hopefully they'll wake up.
Why don't you call it just like the non-Fugazi League, the Big Shield?
That'd be cool.
Well, it's the Big Shield. We appreciate you.
I have scoured it to make sure there is nothing in there anyone can sue me for. That is concern number one when you are going to write content that is going to be sold publicly. How do I get sued? It's bulletproof in that regard. It might suck, but they can't sue me.
Yeah, it's a new name.
We need to learn that, though. We need to learn the whole they can't sue us thing, because we think the way that we can stay out of those is we just run a thing on the bottom, and at the end it says, P.S., don't sue us. So that is kind of our entire game. We can't wait to see what you get into next. We appreciate you. Happy football season. Training camps are starting.
Thank you, guys. Great talking. Have a great weekend.
You going to be at Hall of Fame?
No, we don't have it this year.
Who does?
It's the Olympics.
Yes,
we usually do the Hall of Fame game, but
we got
starting next Saturday. Football takes a back seat. It's all Olympics all the time. You might have heard about that. Paris, running, swimming. You had Phelps on. It's coming.
Poop River.
We've actually been, the Poop River in the Seine. Obviously, no.
They call it the Poop River. How awesome is that? I thought the French were kind of, soft and weak. Poop River is awesome.
They are.
Awesome.
You should have heard the uproar from David Faraday yesterday.
Yeah,
they
Faraday
still are.
buried the French yesterday, and it is international appeal. You make fun of the French for everything you just said right there.
Yep.
Everybody loves it. But then Phelps comes on like there's a French guy that's about to break my records, and it's like, wait, maybe France is having a little bit of a comeback.
Okay.
And that Olympic.
Hey, man. Hey, the best training in the world, swim in the Poop River.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Florio.
Yeah, Mike.
We appreciate you, Mike. What a legend. 10 books, he says.
Yeah.
Fucking, what do you do? Just type? He just types all day?
You got a life.
I guess some people, that's just how they're wired, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of being wired, we're almost the only ones that were wired in, so we almost had to do SportsCenter at 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And I'll tell you what, we were excited. AJ, your head right there, everything you just did, we did when we found out here. We're like, okay, so I went and got a sport coat. We started setting up. I mean, we were really gonna do it. But since we didn't get the opportunity, we at least have to do our top 10.
Have to
at least do a SportsCenter top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a SportsCenter presented by the Pat McAfee Show top 10. Let's go to number 10 on the, let's go full screen on this bad boy. SportsCenter top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? For Omar, the man who runs the SportsCenter Instagram, we will get a LeBron James, Bronny James thing into the SportsCenter top 10. Step back, 3, cash. He's not the only one that's struggling in the Summer League. Look out for Bronny to continue to do his thing. Let's go to number 9. How about this? Former Baltimore Raven at training camp on Monday night, running at 20 25 miles an hour. A man who was kicked out of the arena. You can't slow down a dog who turns the corner and boom! Saws a Russian in half. That's your number 9 play on this SportsCenter Top 10. Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion, really missed out. He almost lost his life as well as that jocked up dog named Braun Breaker barks in the back. How about number 8? Well, one of the greatest shirt rips in the history of ripping shirts. Last night, the Hulkster who yelled into a microphone in a convention in Milwaukee, calling people brother and ites, and then he showcased that this 100% cotton t-shirt ain't got shit on me, brother. This cotton held on as much as it could. The top play is actually from the shirt that refused to rip while the Hulkster was doing his thing in front of every white person in Wisconsin, from the looks of the audience that I saw from watching that convention for the first time ever. Number 7 on this week's SportsCenter Top 10 goes to Coach Dutch Danger and the Utah Utes on winning a national championship. Woo! Congrats to Dutch and all the Utes over there. 7 guys would end up going on and making it to the NFL, and this photo would be used in an attempt to shoot his shot with a Dubai princess. Number 6 on the SportsCenter Top 10. Well, it's Gary V and the boy elbow right in the eye. Right in bang! Right in the eye. It's the grit that Gary shows every single day that ends up with that particular black eye that puts him in number 6 on the SportsCenter, presented by the Pat McAfee Show Top 10. Let's go to number 5. This one is awesome. Paralympic Jared Wallace has a new American long jump record. He's got a no bull shirt on. He's got a stride and a jump. Boom! Further than anybody in American history. Obviously, the Paralympic Games take place about the same time as the Olympic Games. We can't wait for that. He's going to go win, and we appreciate him. Number 4, SportsCenter Top 10, 19-year-old Hany Montoya holes out for eagle in the first hole of the Open yesterday. 2 on a 4. Start out 2 under. His name is no longer on the leaderboard. I feel like everything came crashing down, but he will always have this moment for the rest of his life. Number 3 on the SportsCenter Top 10. Look at Quentin Hallett. He is a Frenchman at an ATP Tour event. Stumbles. This guy's an idiot. Buries one down the line. Oh, you can't get it? You hit it too far? That's awesome. I know Alcaraz is the guy, but if we're playing ass tennis, Quentin Hallett is the guy you do not want to see on the other side of the clay. Number 2 this week.
Deep depression over this incorrect guilt that you tried to lay on me, which preceded that move. Had something to do with Southern California.
Oh, yeah. When you got me fired at USC, I got myself fired at USC, but you didn't help.
It's a better
that.
story if I got you fired.
You really did. Because it is a true story that the athletic director and the president were on that trip. We were playing that night, and you were on College game day, and you had to make your big splash, and they were watching it, because I know the other person in the room that was watching it with them, and you said what a joke I was, and I'm the Miley Cyrus of college football coaching, and I should be fired, and they looked at each other, and later that night, I was fired.
Yeah. By the way.
But hey, look what happened. I would have never gotten to work for Coach Saban. All these other things wouldn't happen. So I appreciate you for helping getting me fired. Thank you.
Look at what you're doing today. You're predicted to go to the playoffs. And look at Miley Cyrus. She's had a nice comeback.
So you're wrong on that. I mean, you put me down with that. So really, I don't really know what you're good at. Like you predicted that Coach Saban was done. That didn't happen. You basically said Miley Cyrus stinks, and she's still going.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's always great to be ridiculed by Lane Kiffin here.
Number 2 shot of the week. Lane Kiffin buries Paul Feinbaum at SEC Media Month. That was happening down there in Dallas. And the number 1 play of the week in the sports world is the Houston Texans taking the field to start training camp for the entire NFL. July 17th was the day that CJ and the boys in Houston took the field, and that is the day that the start to climb the mountain to win the Lombardi begins for the next NFL season. Shout out to all the incredible athletes for trying their absolute best to make this week's top 10. There's only 10 spots. We had about 40 opportunities, and congrats to the Hulkster shirt for being the strongest cotton T-shirt in the history of any convention. And shout out to SportsCenter for us almost hosting.
Hell yeah, SportsCenter. Well done.
How'd you feel about it, AJ? How'd you feel about our top 10?
I mean, I feel like they just copy and pasted their top 10 right over to you guys, right? Seems like it.
Please, excuse me.
Come on.
I ain't no puppet. Nobody's telling me what to say. Okay.
You don't think they put that same list together for their top 10?
No, to be clear.
That was beautiful. Thing of beauty.
Thank you. And shout out to Talk. That a baby Talk.
Yeah, Talk.
That a baby Talk.
Because we found out late, that we were potentially going to be SportsCenter. And I was like, well, if we do SportsCenter, we got to do a top 10. And then all of a sudden, we just start brainstorming. Top 10 this week. What do we got? Boom, 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 boom. And then you could see the ideas getting tossed out there. And then once we have 10 ideas, okay, now we got to.
Yeah, let's rank them.
Now we got to sort these things. And then we're going live. So that's the first time I saw that video.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure on a guy that we call Talk.
Yeah.
But he's an Emmy Award winner, isn't he?
That's right.
Way to go, Talk.
What's up, Talk?
Proud of you, Talk. All right, let's get the hell out of here. I think that was a pretty good top 10.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. A lot of people said, usually Natty's number one, but.
Well, Dutch Danger's, we did that before we knew he was in the middle of a scandal.
True. Yeah, true.
There's another one in there that could have been a little bit higher, but,
You're talking about the Brawny step back? We did that for Omar, so Omar would maybe
I
give
think
it
it
a
was
little
the
bit.
one after that, maybe.
No, well, I think SportsCenter had the Hulkster at number one, but they just played his speech.
Oh, I didn't think they played his speech.
I'm pretty sure they
I
did.
just had to give you a taste.
Shout out to all my Trumpomaniacs and Trumpites, brother.
What's his real name? I didn't know. He said his real
My name is Terry Blair.
Why'd he say that? I don't know.
My head almost fucking exploded.
I didn't. No, but I think he just made that up. I don't think. Just like.
He was just goofing.
Yeah, he's just good. His name's Hulk.
Psych! It's Hulk Hogan, dude.
That's what he did afterwards. He should have.
That shirt, though, deserves to be on the top 10.
Yeah.
How about that thing holding on?
I know.
You think you got me, Hulkster? And then at the very bottom, like, no. And his arms, he was like, I need Phelps' wingspan.
Yeah.
He got that thing all the way. He's like, I don't know how long. Did my arms shrink? How are these shirts tougher? I don't think I understand what's going on. Smooth speech by the Hulkster.
Yeah.
Okay, still got his fastball.
Big time.
He was saying a lot of stuff, as everybody was that stepped on that microphone right there. It's my first time watching one of these conventions. But he's like, I got it. Same old Hulkster, just like the old days. And his shirt's like, I don't think so. So congrats to that shirt for making the top 10 this week. It really fought hard.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to have to do if you want to make it onto our top 10.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to become a new staple of ours.
Yeah.
I think we should start doing that.
That was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think we should start doing that. And let's get the fuck out of here, huh? How about it? You want chicken tender, AJ?
No, it looked good, though.
Open your mouth.
I should have.
Bucket.
Did the crowd respond to Hulk very well? Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the Hulk's.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Water
They went
wet.
nuts, dude.
Actually, the first one he went out there, I saw him. He took his back to hard cam and went like this. And I was
Did
like,
he?
Hulkster.
Come on.
And then I was like, is that all he's going to do? And then, no, he did the full.
he turned.
He just went the whole.
So sick. Walked in this morning to I Am a Real American playing.
How about President Trump sitting up there going, Hulkster?
Yeah.
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah.
Hulkster.
Could believe it. Yeah.
He blew him a kiss.
Blowing a kiss at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing was absurd.
So awesome.
So the Democrats are going to do the same thing. I cannot wait. I mean, honestly, I kind of wish.
Who's performing at that? Who's performing at the Democratic one?
Could be
That's all.
anybody. Legitimately could be. I have no idea. Like, after watching this
They
Republican
got to
one.
call in the big guns, maybe get Taylor.
Mark Hamill's coming
So
out.
that's like a potential opportunity, right? Like, that is how these.
I mean,
Somebody should have given me a heads up, I think, that this thing was happening.
barring an open convention, the Democratic one will be a little bit of that more compared to the RNC one. I would
See, what my issue is here, you guys know that is right. I mean, that is in my.
Oh, yeah.
That is my live speakers, energy,
performance,
bad dance moves.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that is right in my I had no idea that was happening. I had no clue that was taking place. And it's like, when's the next one? When the Democratic one, and then we don't do that. Then we don't get one of these things for another 4 years. Did you see all the whites dancing?
Dude, it was nuts.
Oh my God! I didn't even know some of those.
Best part, they kept cutting the guys. No one knew they were on TV, just getting after it.
There was this one lady who was putting her hoop back in her ear, and her two friends on the other side of her were having the time of her life.
Oh, yeah.
And I could just tell that she was like, come on.
Yeah, get in there.
She wanted to get it. She wanted to catch up to the. It was amazing. Good luck, politics people. Figure it out.
Yeah, they will.
The vibes looked immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Not one person had a bad time, it looked like.
No. They had vendors walking up and down selling booze and popcorn.
And now we get to see the other party's one.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Is Kid Rock doing both of them, you think?
Here's a little sneak peek. Are you scared?
Fight!
I had so much fun watching
so
that.
much fun.
I know, so did I.
I had so much fun. I cannot wait for the Democrat. I legitimately can't. I legitimately cannot. God. All right. It's a great time to be alive.
It is. Yes, it is.
There's a lot of people saying the complete opposite. That is not the case.
No.
Remember that. And we need smart people to figure it out. I know we're not supposed to just view everything as a joke.
Sure.
Okay.
Well,
that is our fault.
Well, hard
you
not
got
to.
the Hulkster fucking, I mean.
Hard not.
It's hard not to just take it for top flight entertainment.
It was.
Yeah.
He started the whole thing, right? Wasn't he the first speaker?
He was like 15, 16 minutes late. I think there's a chance that he had to fight for his speech. Like, I think there was a chance some people, I don't know what happened.
Took him forever because in the back, people kept asking him, like, will you please give me the atomic leg drop? All right, one more time, dude. Lay down. And he just kept going and hitting them and hitting them. And
what a lead in for old Frank Graham.
Yeah, that was the
guy
prayer.
right after him.
That was the prayer?
Yep.
I'll tell you what that was. The prayer, too, had its own little roller coaster.
He's stable. He's been in like the last 3.
So is he because I heard him say my Lord and Savior at the end for Jesus Christ, because like every word matters, once be inclusive. Hey, we're talking to Almighty above. I heard to say a couple times. And then at the end he said my Lord and Savior. He is a known pastor.
Yeah, his dad was super famous evangelist Billy Graham, and he is the son of Billy Graham.
Okay.
Is Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I did see some pizzazz. I mean, he wrote, sometimes there's prayers in those big moments, like the Indy 500 has a prayer that he's broadcasting every time. And you can, I don't want to say judge the prayer, but you certainly can. Like, hey, did we check all the boxes for everything that we need the Lord to potentially look after? And also, was there a little sauce in there? And sometimes they miss the occasion. Old buddy last night knew he was going to check every box.
Yeah.
He was going to check every box. He took his time up there, too.
Oh, yeah, they all did.
Dana White came in just
ripped.
5 minutes, we're in and out of here. Get out of the way.
Go back to Paris.
Go.
Kid Rock introed Trump and Dana.
Yep.
And then there was a break, and then Dana got introed.
They were really tight on where Dana was, where we had just talked about it. Called him from there.
Yeah, and he also posted. Did you see that
The picture,
fucking boat? He posted a video. Did you see that? AJ?
Chopper. He get choppered from the boat and all. Yeah, that thing. Awesome. So he's going right back to that, I would assume, right?
I also did. No, I think he's going home. They said he was going home last night. But I did appreciate that both him and Trump talked about it, because that's how big of a conversation it was whenever it was first presented.
Yeah.
This is my first I told her, I promised my wife. And Don was like, ooh. Like, we can't move the convention.
yeah, right.
And his wife said he should go.
He's like, have you seen the yacht that Dawn, I got this fucking... Did you see that yacht?
Oh, my God.
Absurd.
Yeah, it was insane.
There is levels to this shit. Like, when he did the show, it looked like a lobby behind him?
Yeah.
There was probably multiple lobbies.
Without a doubt.
On that cruise ship.
Every room, probably.
That
had to have a staff of like 25 people that live on board to take care of
looked out 32 actually.
Yeah,
We looked up a lot of. We found a lot of information on the internet. Dana posted this and said he was on his way to Milwaukee. And obviously, you get on the chopper on your yacht. That's what you do.
No big deal.
That's what you do, and then you fly out of there, and like that helicopter there, grade A helicopter. I don't even know.
The military grade.
Yeah.
Like just renting that helicopter from that portion of the water to there. I don't even know what that one fee is.
Yeah.
And then the boat, shoes. Let's just talk about the shoes. I mean, hey, way to go, Dana. You did it.
Keep doing it, Dana.
Do it for Boston and Vegas out there doing it. But that RNC thing was wild. Can't wait to see the I assume they call it
DNC.
DNC?
Yep.
Because they're DNC. Oi! 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 Is that what they're going to... I think you got Jack Black coming on, right? All right, let's get out of here.
They're free. They're not on tour anymore.
I'm learning a lot about a lot of things quickly here, and we need
people.
sports to continue to just keep going.
Yep.
We need sports to continue.
Football's back.
Good time. Yeah, football's back. Great time.
Great
Couldn't
time
come
for
at a
the
better
Olympics, too. Great time for the Olympics, too.
Bingo.
But I will say, I will watch one of those things I saw last night. If it is ever up again, I will watch
I'll be there.
one of those things. I mean, what a time. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's have a great weekend, shall we? Please.
Hell yeah.
Let's have a good weekend. Yeah. AJ said, I don't want to have a mustache anymore.
Mm-hmm. Good haircut.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever made the commitment to try to grow a stash, what it would be.
You did. You showed up on this show with your face looking the way it was. That was a commitment.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was even visible. So yeah, there's hope. I guess there's hope I could grow a mustache someday.
We like that. That's the type of optimism we need.
Yeah, I'm optimistic now.
That's the type of optimism we need. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Boys, great work this week, boys. Bruce, way to go, Bruce.
Bruce, way to go. Put the hat on, Bruce. Good job.
Hey, where are we right now at the Open, Bruce? What is...
who cares?
All right, that's right. That's the right answer. In the back way. Good work, boys.
Hey, good work, boys.
Work in the back, boys. Faso is here. Faso traveled out. It was good to see Faso travel to the Thunderdome. I believe he is probably already gone because he's got a flight out of here, but we did miss him. And shout out to everybody that allows us to do this for a living. We're off for 2 weeks. I think we all got a bit of answer to get back in here. This week has been an absolute blast, and we'll be back on Monday. We can't thank you enough. Sports are the greatest thing on earth. Let's never forget it. Okay? Sports bring everybody together, which is all we try to do. Crack some jokes, say some stuff, piss some people off. We never mean to. Let's keep it moving. Let's enjoy this life. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.